they're at fault.
Yeah, you know what? Nobody knew what was going on. Gundy did not know what the rule was, because if he knew what the rule was at the time of the play, he would have been running out there yelling at the refs, telling them, you're messing it up. This is not the way it should go. The game should be over. He didn't do that. But the exact execution of the play, if you want to just get rid of all the information that's coming out there, send a wide receiver out there and then make sure that at least there won't be an intentional grounding because the receiver is in the general area.
You could punt it, sprint out, and throw it to the lights. Or sprint out, fall down. 4 seconds all you need. But the bottom line, Central Michigan outplayed Oklahoma State.
Well, and what's getting overlooked.
So, here it is real quick. So
Is,
see the two wings right there? That's it. You freeze it right there. All that guy needs to do is flex out. And then as he gets back to throw, he just runs the go route. The ball's going out of bounds anyways, but at least there's an intended receiver in the area that negates all confusion for that play. You can interpret it any way you want. The execution, the mechanics of that play are wrong. And Gundy didn't know about that. Now, maybe it's like some crazy obscure rule, and he never thought he'd be in that position. But nobody knew what was going on.
They've got to change the rule. I mean,
well, the rule is flawed.
You talked to Steve Shaw as well, just trying to cover everything here.
No doubt about
the head of SEC officiating. Obviously, nothing to do with this game, but Steve Shaw is heavily prevalent around college football in terms of officiating, and he told you the same thing.
Same exact thing. But a lot of people think in the half, in the game, cannot end on a penalty.
By the way, not to bury the lead, what an unbelievable play by Central.
It's not getting any attention whatsoever.
You've seen Hail Marys, you've seen hooks and ladders. Have you ever seen a Hail Mary and a ladder?
And throughout the game.
Unbelievable.
Played hard.
Wow. Our next game here on CBS Sports Network, third game of our quadruple header. Quentin Flowers, USF preseason pick to win the East Division of the American. They're home for Northern Illinois, coming up in minutes.
To get to you, they'd have to get past us. Learn more at Navy.com.
Away. Away is the smell of victory. And the smell of burgers. Away is always having home field advantage, even when you're miles away from home. Find your away. For a dealer in the RV that's right for you, visit GoRVing.com.
Everyone say that I am too young to do my own thing, but I know they're wrong. You see, Mama not worried, and Papa never did. I'm just a little bitty girl, like a whole lot of kids, doing my own thing. Check me out.
Find your perfect car, or the perfect car for her. AutoTrader, the only car search engine driven by you.
When you're busy running your own business, marketing can fall last on the list. You know what you need, and Vistaprint makes it easy to get it. Looking to connect? 500 business cards start at just $9.99. Need to share important info? 500 postcards start at just $35.99. Or do you want a standout space? Banners start at just $9.59, and they're all absolutely guaranteed. So go to Vistaprint.com by September 18th and enter promo code TVDEAL and get what you need.
Kenny Golladay was electrifying in Week 1 for Northern Illinois out of the MAC as they get set for USF. It's an 0-1 team against a 1-0 team. USF expected to win the East Division, the American. Golladay, 144 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns last week, over 80 yards on the ground as well. They fell, though, in triple overtime on the road against Wyoming. Meantime, USF manhandled Towson in the opener, 56-20. Quentin Flowers, who's excellent, was just 8 of 18. definitely rusty, but this guy is really good in what can be a very dynamic offense.
He's very good. Wasn't on his game all the way, but the defense of South Florida suffocated him now. The first week only held the rushing. Towson only rushed for 2.6 yards per carry. I'm anxious to see what happens tonight.
Yeah, and I'm looking at NIU. Tough loss last week against Wyoming, dealing with the elements, the altitude, the delays, the game ended late. Now they take another trip to South Florida, dealing with the heat and the humidity. What they need to do is run the football. That's been NIU's that hallmark over the past couple years. They need to get back to that and run it.
USF, Willie Taggart, man, they were 1-3 last year. Then they were awesome down the stretch and off to a good start this year. They may well end up in that conference title game. Dwayne Ballard, along with Corey Chavis. Melanie Collins had the call.
College football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. Tonight, from Tampa, the Northern Illinois Huskies and the South Florida Bulls. Hi, everyone. Welcome inside Raymond James Stadium. Along with Corey Chavis, I'm Dwayne Ballard. Melanie Collins will join us shortly. Well, Corey, tonight, potentially, we could have a lot of points scored here.
We could, and it all starts with two quarterbacks who have some experience. Flowers got a lot of it a year ago. Hare, before getting injured, had also gotten a lot of experience, and they lead two offenses that run a fast pace, and you better be able to keep up with it.
You mentioned Flowers of South Florida. What an exciting trigger man.
He's very good at throwing the deep ball, Dwayne, but the one thing that I think he's improved at the most is when he's under pressure, his ability to create and get outside the pocket. He's magical with the ball in his hands, and he creates opportunities for others down the field.
And for NIU, there's very little that number 19 on offense, Kenny Golladay, cannot do.
Well, you called this game last week, and what didn't he do? 82 yards on the ground, 144 yards receiving, a smooth strider. He understands ball distribution on the field and where he's at, and you can see it right there with that one-hand catch.
As we know, this is a very important weekend in our country's history. We will not forget. We will always remember, and it's no different here this weekend. Melanie has more.
That's right, Dwayne. It is the eve of the 15-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks on our country. And in honor of our military and in remembrance of those who lost their lives that day, Northern Illinois is wearing special patriotic uniforms for this matchup against South Florida. You can see the socks don the stars and stripes of the American flag. Each jersey has the American flag in the upper left-hand corner of the chest. But by far, the coolest part of these uniforms, guys, are these helmets. The NIU filled in with the stars and stripes of the American flag, a beautiful tribute by the Huskies here in South Florida.
Well, Melanie, what say we play this great American game? And it will be under almost picture-perfect conditions. Our Allegra weather in Tampa, temperature 83, winds out of the south, 11 miles per hour, partly cloudy. It is almost a picturesque evening in early September in South Florida. Northern Illinois has won the toss, elected to defer, so USFL will be receiving. Here's Willie Taggart in his fourth season as the Bulls head coach. Record of 15-23, but he has the trajectory going in the right way here in Tampa, and he has the folks excited. Rod Carey coming off a disappointing loss last week against Wyoming in triple overtime. He has been very successful, though, in DeKalb. Rodney Adams, number 87, and Dearness Johnson, number 2, back to receive. This is Johnson. Out to the 30. Still on his feet. And make his way down to around the 37-yard line. 38-yard return. Time now for the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. The quarterback, you just heard Corey talk about him, Quentin Flowers. 178 yards passing last week against Towson. He can do it on the air. He can do it on the ground. He is a very electric player to watch. Man in the backfield, Darius Tice, starting in place of Marlon Mack. Tice gets the call right up the middle. 4-yard pickup. The resources with which Flowers will be working, that offensive line is anchored by Amicia. Tice, as we mentioned, is the starting back, and this is an up-tempo offense. They waste little time in between snaps. Nice stop by the defensive unit led by Renard Shurin, number 11. The Huskies defensive unit. Sharon, number 11. Their captain and man is number 33, Jamal Payton, the middle linebacker, the senior. They listen when he speaks. 3rd down, 4 to go for South Florida. Opening drive of this game. Flowers set, steps into a throw. Receiver had it and dropped it.
That's a route, Dwayne, they like to use a lot on 3rd down. They offset their back to the weak side of the formation, and he was wide open on the play, and accuracy has been a little bit of an issue. Now look at that ball. I know it's a tough catch. You're looking at a running back who has a step. If you get the ball up, I noticed last week against Towson that the accuracy for Flowers was up and down.
Jonathan Hernandez back to punt. Shawan Lurie, number 19, back to receive it for Northern Illinois. Lurie will field it at the 4. Is tripped up, gets out to the 15-yard line, and that's where Northern Illinois will take over. 52-yard punt, 11-yard return. Now for the Chick-fil-A starting lineups on offense for Northern Illinois. The Huskies led by Drew Hare, wearing the patriotic arm sleeve last week. A nice return for him coming back from an injury, just not quite enough in that 3 overtime loss to Wyoming. Huskies want to run early and often. That's Joel Bouagnon picking up 5 yards, a record-setting running back. Northern Illinois' lineup. Bouagnon in the backfield. Myers, Shively up front. Pass completed to the tight end, Wyman. Defensively for South Florida, Augie Sanchez, number 43. He is the leader. Willie Taggart told us he was the coach on the field. He calls all the assignments out. Bouagnon once again makes his way just over the 25-yard line. And Corey, you mentioned earlier that one of the things you were watching was the offensive line of Northern Illinois.
Absolutely. This defensive line, who they are going against. We're going to notice the rotation that USF uses most of the night. They've got 2 very good interior defensive linemen, and Bruce Hector and Vedran Sinat.
1st and 10. Good job. Great drop off to Jordan Huff. Huff is a young man that has played his way into the rotation. The coaches were telling us, offensive coordinator was telling us that, look, Bouagnon had been our primary back, but number 23 played so well in camp and has played. He's just forced the issue, and he is demanding playing time in the good way.
I really like so far what we've seen from Northern Illinois. Now, they went down on defense. They got off the field on 3rd down. And look how they run the ball. They mixed it up with some possession passes for Hare. He's gotten into a rhythm early.
On 2nd down, Northern Illinois keeping it on the ground. And they told us, Yurimovich told us, the offensive coordinator, that this is, Corey, a run-first offense. Though they were not very successful last week in that. But this is what they wish to do.
Yeah, and last week they only averaged 3.6 yards a carry. That was down a little bit from a year ago.
2nd and 3. Hare to the air. That's a 1st down. Christian Blake on the reception. 8-yard catch.
You can see just pretty much there is somewhat of a run-pass option for them. So he reads actually what the linebacker is doing. He sees the void, and then he ends up hitting him right there in the hole with accuracy.
Ball at the 48. Nothing doing for Huff. 2-yard loss. Leading the way was Augie Sanchez.
They're running inside, and you see Daniel Awalike, number 93, does an excellent job of getting off of the block and making the play. Good job by him disengaging.
Now it's 2nd and 11. Low snap, Hare rolling right. In trouble, and he goes down. The captain, Augie Sanchez, with the sack. Loss of 5.
Well, they had some problems with an exchange last week and a couple low snaps. And Hare's normally a good enough athlete to get away with you having a poor snap because he ran for 900 yards a couple years ago, but that was too low and forced too much of an adjustment.
Now, Corey, they face a 3rd and 15 from their own 47. Hare connected with Golladay, but the defensive unit was ready. My guess is, Corey, they will not miss 19 on offense in this game.
No, they won't. And they're trying to spread them out a little bit and get them, the linebackers, to walk out because they're going to go to some of the screen game. Now, you're going to see that a lot from both teams. When they go to these spread formations, screens will be a big factor, and that's normally a long yardage type of play for each team.
Taji Fullwood awaiting the punt of Jake Ambrose. High spiral. Fullwood's going to let it go into the end zone, where South Florida will take the ball at the 25-yard line when we return. No score here in Tampa. You're watching college football presented by Geico on CBS Sports Network.
Girl, I want to be with you all of the time. The only time I feel alright is by your side.
Amazing sleep stays with you all day and all night. Sleep Number beds adjust on both sides for your best sleep ever. Don't miss the biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale with the Queen C2 mattress, only $599.99. Final days, and Sunday. No better sleep, only to Sleep Number store.
With this level of engineering, it's a performance machine. With this degree of intelligence, it's a supercomputer. With this grade of protection, it's a fortress. And with this standard of luxury, it's an oasis. Introducing the completely redesigned E-Class. It's everything you need it to be, and more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
From residential to commercial, from large loss to emergency response. Whenever damage strikes, call on the cleanup team that's faster to any size disaster at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper here. You know, as long as I've been in college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper. And I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition. Good story, bro. It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper here. High five. I invented that, too.
My name is Edward Snowden.
What is this?
Leave that there.
Am I a target?
The house is bombed.
Are they watching us?
You have no idea what it's like to be accountable for other people's lives.
Snowden, rated R.
We are scoreless in the first quarter, 9:55 remaining in the opening quarter. One man you will not see, thanks to our icy hot injury report this evening, is Marlon Mack, the outstanding running back for South Florida. He had a head injury last week against Towson. He left the game in the opening half. He had 58 yards rushing, 59 carries. And here's why, Corey. It was quite a lick.
It was. I mean, and this Towson linebacker's name is DeAndre Wallace, and he's a player to keep, only a sophomore. And you can see he didn't see him. He was trying to set up his blockers there. Dominique Threed inside, and he cut back into Wallace, who was on a mission last week against this USF football team. But Matt, an outstanding football player who arguably is the most explosive player in the entire conference.
He underwent concussion protocol this week. Coach Taggart told us last night that they just did not want to risk it. Max said he thought he could go, but Taggart didn't want to risk it, and he felt very comfortable with having Darius Tyson, Dearness Johnson to step in Max's stead. So second series for South Florida, still scoreless. Flowers to the air, shorthands it. He was looking for Rasheem Bronson.
And that's kind of what I was talking about on that last drive. It's the accuracy. It's getting into a rhythm early in the game. 8 out of 18 a year ago. And when you watch him here, you get a good look at it. A little bit of a long delivery. And you can see that sometimes it doesn't snap out of his hand.
Rodney Adams, first down and more. Flags fly on the field.
That could be a hold outside the number zone.
Referee Tom Stapleton, who's heading up this MAC crew, will let us know.
Valdez-Scantling, number 11.
Holding, number 11, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, second down.
That's on Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who is the running mate, as it were, of Rodney Adams at receiver.
You can see the hands right in that area.
And the hold was against Shawan Lurie, the All-America cornerback for Northern Illinois. So Willie Taggart's offense has to back up a bit. Second and 11, ball at the 19-yard line, South Florida. This time is Tice, left side, stopped by Corey Thomas, number 69, a redshirt senior. 1-yard pickup. Corey, something you said really stuck in my head. You likened this South Florida offense in basketball terms.
Absolutely, again, because they're a fast break team. And now you got a 3rd down and 8. So this is their weakness, though. 37% a year ago on 3rd down. We'll get into the other point later.
Flowers back to throw. Has time, looking up top. Marquez Valdez-Scantling just atones for that earlier holding call.
And there we go. We talk about basketball. When I say fast break team, Dwayne, I mean they're a team that hits you with runs. 21, 14-point runs. Just like you see in basketball, that's the type of team that they are. Screen could be coming right here.
45-yard pickup. Back to the air goes Flowers again. Over the middle, there is a marker on the far side of the field.
That's a great play by Anthony Brooks. He picked that ball off. And they say incomplete now.
Well, as we know that there's a flag on the field, so we'll just wait to hear from Mr. Stapleton.
I know you had, hey, you saw that flag. You started having flashbacks last week, right?
This goes against South Florida.
Illegal formation, offense, 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, first down.
The call was illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield, so it's a 5-yard penalty.
And when you try to hurry up, sometimes the pace doesn't allow that last guy to get up on the line of scrimmage. You got to have 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. One of those guys didn't get up on there because probably the pace trying to get that next play off.
1st and 15 for South Florida from Northern Illinois' 38. Elcano Dillon, the tight end in motion. Flowers under pressure, rolling to his left. Remember, he can run, elects to throw it. And it was nearly caught by Valdez-Scantling.
I tell you what, that was a wild play. Now, you're talking about a player running full speed to his left. And now he throws it back across his body without even getting set. Look at the placement. It's right there on the money. If Valdez-Scantling corrals that, it's plays of the week. But excellent effort by Flowers. And just a drop by Valdez-Scantling.
Anthony Brooks was there defensively for Northern Illinois, but as you noted, partner, all he could do was hope Valdez-Scantling didn't catch it. Pitch this time to Tice, and he is corralled and dragged down quickly. 2-yard pickup.
And that was Austin Smaha, and I thought Renard Shuren did a good job of forcing that play back into him inside.
Austin Smaha, the defensive end, senior from Belvedere, Illinois, making the stop. This defensive unit was surprised a bit last week, frankly, against Wyoming, and I think it has something to prove. 3rd and 13, ball at the 36. Opening quarter here in Tampa. Flowers, easy throw, easy catch. Right on the corner, and that's a first down for South Florida. Tyree McCants on the catch.
This is a positive. Much better technique here. Steps into the throw and the placement. Excellent.
13-yard pickup. Whistles on the field.
The ruling on the field is a completed pass. The play is under review.
So they want to determine whether or not McCants actually completed the pass.
Thought he got the left foot down right here. And he actually dragged the right foot as well.
So are you willing to call a confirmation of the?
It's confirmed.
Okay, friends, unofficially, it is. The word from Corey is great body control.
Absolutely.
After review, the ruling on the field of a completed catch is confirmed. First down.
Willie Taggart wiping a bit of sweat off of his forehead as though he thought it might be in question just a tad.
He's probably worried about that right foot, but I think for them, being able to convert and keep drives alive is going to be important. Now, they were 50% a week ago, but that's probably the one hiccup in their offense, Dwayne, is they've got to do a better job of converting those third down opportunities during the game.
You saw Coach Taggart earlier there. He is the primary signal caller for this offensive unit, and he likes for it to be wide open. Tice in the backfield, and he gets the call, and he is met behind the line of scrimmage and quickly by Joe Sanders, number 9. Sanders, a transfer from Highland Community College. 1 yard loss.
You're going to see him kind of close when you get the block down for William Atterbury. And we talked to the offensive defensive coordinator, Kevin Kane, and he was talking about 4 or 5 weeks from now. Looks like it's happening for him tonight.
2nd and 11 from the 24. Still no score. Flowers, plenty of time, drops back further. Now he might be in trouble, but he escapes. He's still on his feet and has a first down. This is what you talked about earlier, Corey.
I mean, he's magical. And when you have him cupped, I mean, right here, you got Sanders coming in with a bull rush, but he's keeping him in the pocket. He has contained, and now you've got 2 players that can make a play. And now they're about to run a play.
13-yard pickup leads to a first down. This is Adams. Touchdown Bulls! 11-yard touchdown.
And there goes the 3-pointer.
So we're continuing the basketball analogy.
I mean, they're one of those teams. They're 3 after 3. They get on a run, and that's kind of how they score. They score in spurts.
Adams, a local product from St. Petersburg, Lakewood High School. Emilio Nettleman on for the extra point. The holder is Brent Gordon. It's good. So the Bulls strike first, leading at 7-0 with 6:39 remaining in the first quarter. Number 87 coming right at you. You're watching college football on CBS Sports, presented by Geico.
Bud Light Party is for everyone. Men,
Women,
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
we'll sell you a beer any day of the week.
No 2 allergy days feel the same. With Nasacort, even on your worst days, relief can be yours. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your nasal allergy symptoms, Nasacort stops more for effective relief. Nasacort, guaranteed, or your money back.
I love that my shop is part of the morning ritual around here. People rely on that first cup, and I wouldn't want to mess with that. But when back pain got bad, I couldn't sleep. I had trouble getting there on time. Then I found Aleve PM.
Aleve PM is the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour strength of Aleve for pain relief that can last into the morning.
Hey guys. Now I'm back.
Aleve PM for a better AM.
'Cause I'm free like a bird. Whether not wanting to.
We all want to be as free as the birds.
I know one day.
But maybe the birds want to be as free as us. Introducing the newest member of the family, the Fiat 124 Spider.
'Cause I'm free like a bird.
More fun than flying.
Whether not wanting to.
South Florida leading Northern Illinois 7-0, Corey, thanks to a man called Adams.
Yeah, you know, when you have these plays, there's always people that have to get blocked. And right here you see Sean Folliard. And basically you're going to get a block from Alcana Dillon to first take him out. And then as we let it go on the speed sweep action, there's going to have the receivers block. Pause it right here. Here's another example of a receiver willing to block down the field. As you let it go, he finishes that block, and I think that last block is what allowed him to get into the end zone. But anytime you run perimeter run plays, the tight end's ability and the wide receiver's ability to complete blocks a big factor.
Adams, a transfer from Toledo. Bulls fired up, ready for Nadelman's kickoff. Shawan Lurie. You got Argeus Turner and Jordan Huff. Keep your eye on number 22, Turner. He is the reigning MAC Special Teams Player of the Year, and he says when one team scores, he feels it's his duty to pay them back immediately. He has the ball dancing in the middle, but goes down just over the 16-yard line. 17-yard return. With football season underway and pennant races in full swing, it's the perfect time for some of the most intelligent women in sports to sound off. We Need to Talk. Tuesday night at 8 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. So now, Corey, this offensive unit comes back out after a 10-play drive that produced a touchdown. And how important is it for Northern Illinois to really get something offensively going?
Well, I think that was a good start. They come out with the completion to Blake, and they got positive yards. But I think for them, one of the weaknesses of this team a year ago was time of possession. That didn't change a lot because they go at such a fast pace. It looks like it's not a catch now. Looks like they're overruling it. Let's see. What do you think there? Well, he might have gotten his hands up underneath it, but they're saying no catch.
Christian Blake, the receiver. Ruled no catch. It's 2nd and 10 from the 17. That's Turner. Mike Urimovich told us, the offensive coordinator of Northern Illinois, that he felt remiss that they did not get number 22, Corey Moore, involved because he has exceptional offensive skills.
And they use him a lot on these fly sweeps, kind of like what we saw a second ago from South Florida with Adams.
9-yard pickup.
And one of the things I mentioned a second ago was about the time of possession. I know they work at a fast pace, much like USF, but only 24 minutes. They had the ball a week ago against Wyoming, 26 a game in 2015.
That was Bouagnon on the last carry. Bouagnon again. This time he runs right into the waiting arms of Augie Sanchez. Melanie Sanchez is more than just number 43.
Is he ever, Dwayne? He's always visualized his plays in the locker room before games, but he actually puts his headphones on before the games, walks onto the field before pregame warm-ups, and goes over their defensive plays. He says he watches film in his head and pictures himself making that big play, whether it's a strip sack or a forced fumble or a fumble recovery. And the coaches call him the quarterback on the defense for a reason. Seems to be working for him, guys.
Yeah, Melanie. You remember Raymond Woody, the defensive coordinator, Corey told us last night. He's like a gym rat. He's the football version of a gym rat.
We talked about him being the captain, and on cue, as Melanie was talking about him, he had a pressure that forced an incompletion by Hare.
And it's 3rd and 8. Hare back to pass. Pocket collapsing. Rolls out to his right. That's Bouagnon with the reception, but not enough for the first down.
And that was the Sanchez drive. He made that tackle.
Well, it was all Augie on that one. Some of you may remember.
You can see they're playing a little bit of zone coverage right here, and this is pretty much keeping everything in front of you. They believe in their ability to close on the football, and you can see that with probably 4 to 5 green and gold helmets around the ball.
Jake Ambrose on to punt. Taji Fullwood set to return for South Florida. High spiral kick. Fullwood calls for a fair catch. Starts to go after it, but does not. When we return, South Florida will have the ball back, leading 7-0. 51-yard punt.
At Northrop Grumman, we've been developing new ways to execute the mission. What once was seen now stays undetected. Where alarms were once raised, now there's silence. With our full spectrum cyber capabilities, our military can eliminate enemy threats at the push of a button. That's the value of performance. Northrop Grumman.
When your pain strikes, it's at the nerve level. Now, you can lidocaine your pain. New Icy Hot Lidocaine.
This powerful anesthetic penetrates quickly to desensitize aggravated nerves with the max strength lidocaine available.
Lidocaine your pain with new Icy Hot Lidocaine.
At Lexus, what we learn on the track doesn't stay on the track. It just finds more street-legal form. Experience the power and precision of the Lexus F-Sport Performance line. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Americans don't celebrate the good enough canyon. We didn't aim to be second to the moon. Verizon doesn't settle for good enough either. So now we're introducing Verizon LTE Advanced, with 50% faster peak speeds in more than 450 cities coast to coast. So don't settle for an unlimited plan with limits. Switch now and get our best deal. 20 gigs of limitless data with 4 lines for only $160. Welcome to the Next Gen Network.
One Life Party is for everyone. Men,
women,
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
We'll sell you a beer any day of the week.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Icy Hot Smart Relief TENS Therapy. Turn off pain. And by Ram Trucks, America's longest lasting pickups.
Offensive tackle Doug Freese started at NIU from 2002 to 06, was a 2-time All-MAC selection. Doug Freak has started 98 games for the Cowboys since being drafted in the 4th round in 07. And my partner, you've had a close encounter or two with him, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
The old defensive back.
Oh, man. Playing down in that box. Sometimes you got to get down there and take on the lineman, and he's a good one. That's a big reason why he's played for so long.
Quentin Flowers brings the Bulls back out onto the field. Flowers last week, 8 of 18, 178 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He's a second-team all-conference selection in preseason. Ball at the 16-yard line. Flowers starts to run but goes nowhere. He is quickly greeted.
Bobby Jones, and looked like Ben Leroy got in there, some inside penetration.
No pickup. Bobby Jones the 4th on the tackle.
They're continuing to spread with this empty look, and they're making Northern Illinois adjust.
Quick pass. That is Rasheem Bronson with the reception. Junior from Fort Myers, Dunbar, 11-yard pickup.
These formations, when you get the wide splits outside, just like you've seen so far tonight, you'll get the screens and you'll also get the screen and goes. A couple different options for those attacks.
1st and 10 from the 27. Flowers looks over for the calls from Coach Taggart. As Dearness Johnson, number 2, now in the backfield. You will see Johnson and Tice both instead of Mack this evening. Mack, of course, as we noted, out of the game under concussion protocol. Going deep. It's Bronson. Hello. 73-yard strike. You talked about it, partner. This is a fast break offense.
It is. And Anthony Brooks one-on-one with Bronson. And this isn't the first name that comes to mind, but this is similar to another game on CBS Sports Network a couple years back when Bronson went 75 yards on a similar pass and play.
And Bronson is like the third amigo because we have been talking about Rodney Adams and Marquez Valdez-Scantling as the dynamic duo, and then Bronson steps in and says, look, I'm here also. Point after is good, 14-0. Quentin Flowers finds Bronson 73 yards, and it's 14-0. Flowers are smelling good in South Florida.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper, yeah? You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper, and I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Good story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, here. High five. I meant that too.
With this level of engineering, it's a performance machine. With this degree of intelligence, it's a supercomputer. With this grade of protection, it's a fortress. And with this standard of luxury, it's an oasis. Introducing the completely redesigned E-Class. It's everything you need it to be, and more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
14-0. South Florida is rolling now, Corey.
Yeah, they are. And Quentin Flowers' technique, we talked about it in the three-step passing game, but right here, the one thing that you want to look at, we'll let it roll here for a second. Watch his vision. We'll pause it right here. He was looking this way and comes back over here, and that's what kind of moves the safety off. The technique in the pocket on that play was outstanding by him. It was a subtle thing, but it moved the safety enough out of the middle of the field to create and give him that one-on-one matchup outside.
That was the 7th touchdown drive of less than 2 minutes and 5 quarters this season for South Florida. Hence that fast break moniker that you've dubbed.
Yeah, and 33 points a game last year, or 34 nearly. And it seems like this season they're off to a similar start.
Well, Anthony Brooks defensively looked really gassed on that bench just now for Northern Illinois.
It was a technique error by Brooks, who's a good football player. He wants to get his hands on at the line of scrimmage, and we'll probably take a look at it later. What he did was open up the gate, and there you see him maybe, who knows what's going on there, but it's a hot night.
It's 83 degrees. We're in South Florida. Humidity is very high. And last week, remember, this Northern Illinois team had to deal with the altitude in Wyoming, 7,220 feet, and there were players on the team that were complaining about not being able to breathe. So this dramatic change in environments must play a role.
I totally agree. It's something me and you talked about. How would they transition to this environment?
Gales Turner and Jordan Huff back to receive the kick. It's Turner once again. He at the 10. And is tripped up quickly before he can really get ahead of steam going.
And this Dearness Johnson is something else now. We're going to see him play running back, but watch him come in here and show that I could be a linebacker too. I mean, he does pretty much everything with his football team, including throw his body around on special teams to send a message.
He is Mr. Versatility, is number 2. You saw him on the last series in the backfield. You see him on special teams. They ask so much of him, but he's happy. Coach Taggart loves him. Says he will do anything that we ask. Northern Illinois with the ball, trailing 14-0. Drew Hare scrambling, goes really nowhere. Augie Sanchez there, along with his teammates, to make the stop. Melanie
Well, you guys talked about Dearness Johnson being so versatile. Well, he's earned the nickname the Junkyard Dog from Coach Taggart because Taggart says he can do absolutely anything. He's a Horning Award watch list candidate for the most versatile player on the team. He's playing running back. He's also returning punts, catching passes, covering on kickoffs. He threw 2 TD passes last year, guys. He's a terrific blocker out of the backfield and he even punted for his high school football team. I don't know what's left.
Melanie, we have expected him to be on the defensive unit just now, lining up at a corner. Christian Blake on that reception. 1st and 10 for Northern Illinois. Hare being forced back, drops it off. Turner could not hang on, but the pressure was coming hard and fast, Corey.
Well, they're rotating their defensive linemen. I mean, that time it was Josh Black. You're going to see him come inside, number 55, and he beats, really, Turner, who was trying to chip him on the way out into a pass pattern. So they're mixing up their looks. And remember, this USF defense will rotate a lot of players.
You see the passing yards already, a great imbalance favoring South Florida. On 2nd down, trying to go up the middle, but that South Florida Bulls defensive front is starting to stiffen, and they give Huff nothing as Daniel Akwali is the first one to get to him. Northern Illinois, they stress that they are a run-first offense, but so far, not a whole lot of success on the ground. They didn't have much last week against Wyoming. 3rd and 8. The crowd here at Raymond James is getting into it. Ball at the 40-yard line. Hare out of the shotgun. Puts it up top. Nearly picked off. Taiji Fullwood defensively there, the junior from Tampa. Last week he had 7 tackles. He knocked that one away.
That was an excellent play. He was matched up one-on-one down the field, and the pressure that caused, really it was still a pretty good pass by Hare, was by Nigel Harris. He got another hit on the quarterback. He's playing very well the first 2 weeks of this season.
So Jake Ambrose is on, and the man back, Fullwood. Fullwood makes the catch, breaks a couple of tackles, makes his way out to the 26-yard line. Jamal Payton on the tackle, number 33, the starting middle linebacker. 41-yard punt, 8-yard return. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern, the toughest sport on dirt takes the stage in the Show Me State with the PBR-built Ford Tough Series PFI Western.com Invitational right here on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. 1st and 10 for South Florida from the 27-yard line. Wow! And there's the flag. Corey, that didn't surprise you. You saw that coming, right? Riddell Fleming just...
Yeah, that was something else. I mean,
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 8. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
We're just hearing the referee make the call. And actually, I mean, it was close to, he was up around that neck. That was close to maybe not being one. I mean, coaches praise him for his attitude and vigor, and you could see it in anything he does. He also plays on the punt team. I don't know if that was a...
Well, that was Melanie's guy, Mr. Versatility, Dearness Johnson.
Yeah, he got
playing the part of the bull being roped.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he really, now you could call it more of a clothesline, but I don't know about that face mask.
That sets up another 1st down, right up the middle. It's Johnson, where he makes his way into the secondary. He's tackled by Sean Folliard. Rod Carey not happy right now, the way his defensive unit is simply giving way. 14-yard pickup. Flowers looking to the air again, flushed out, could be in trouble, and throws it away.
I guess they're going to talk about this and see if he was outside the tackle box there. Ball certainly got back to the line of scrimmage, but now you see Northern Illinois rotating some players in, and let's see where he threw this from. Yeah, he's right on the edge of Amici over there. But now Northern Illinois is coming with their version of a nickel defense to really try to contend a little bit more with this pace of USF.
2nd and 10. That's Johnson trying to get around the edge, but he goes nowhere. He's quickly stopped by Bobby Jones IV again. Jones, a junior from Miami Gardens, Florida, one of a number of players from Northern Illinois from the Sunshine State. Loss of 1.
And he can run. And watch him redirect his frame. He runs past Fleming on his way to the ball. Excellent inside-out speed, and you've seen that from him the last couple of seasons for the Huskies.
Dad, Robert, played at Miami, so he has pretty good genes.
Real good.
Flowers steps into a throw. It's caught. Another first down. Tyree McCants, the sophomore from Niceville, Florida.
And that's a 3rd down, and that's what we wanted to see if USF would keep it going. And look at Michael Allen. He has a chance here. He just overruns the pick. Has a chance to pick it off and overruns it.
33-yard pickup. They go back to the ground with Johnson. Can he fix shoes? Melody said he can do everything. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. South Florida 14, Northern Illinois nothing. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico.
The itsy-bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and clogged the gutter system, creating a leak in the roof. Luckily, the spider recently had Geico help him with homeowner's insurance. Water completely destroyed his Swedish foam mattress. He got full replacement and now owns the Sleep Number bed. His Sleep Number setting is 25. Call Geico and see how much you could save on homeowner's insurance.
Girl, I want to be with you all of the time. The only time I feel alright is by your side.
Amazing sleep stays with you all day and all night. Sleep Number beds adjust on both sides for your best sleep ever. Don't miss the biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale with the Queen C2 mattress, only $599.99. Final days. End Sunday. No better sleep. Only to Sleep Number store.
Away. Away is the smell of victory. And the smell of burgers. Away is always having home field advantage, even when you're miles away from home. Find your away for a dealer in the RV that's right for you. Visit GoRVing.com.
Sweetheart.
Frost was on the pumpkin that cold Boston morn, and Gronkowski was on Jim Baden's mind.
I was feeling a bit Gronky, so I said, why not? Let's do it.
Without Jim, I wouldn't have been in Jim's lineup.
With a last-minute switch that will forever go down as the old Gronkaroo, Jim, a.k.a. Holy Gronkamole, racked up 310 points and secured a triumphant victory in his league of 12 friends.
One word.
Gronk.
2 words.
The Gronk.
Where was this film crew when I won the week before, huh?
Make your moment with 1 week fantasy football at DraftKings. Create a private league and play against your friends. Or pick a public contest and play for weekly prizes. Then draft your team to win.
Just for the record, I crushed him the next week.
Play in the free $100,000 contest week 1. Use promo code SMOOTH.
Is it cool if I change into a tank top?
Do you feel sluggish or tired throughout the day? Have you ever thought the problem could be your liver?
My liver?
Your liver cleanses your body of things like too much food and drink. And if it's all clogged up, you feel sluggish and tired. But there is something you can do. Take Liverite Liverade, the natural dietary supplement just for your liver. Liverite helps your liver work properly so you can feel more energized. Cleanse your liver. Feel the energy. Live right with Liverite.
Thanks, Liverite.
Available at CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and Walmart.
South Florida leading Northern Illinois 14-0 as we are about to commence with the second quarter here. Partner, it's interesting because everything seems to be going right so far for South Florida. Northern Illinois seems lost.
And I think part of it is that first drive, they got something going, and then it stalled. And then you come back after having stopped USF, and then they go on this 14-point run. And now potentially going in for another score. So it's tough to deal with mentally on the road again.
And we haven't seen the best of what South Florida can do yet. All of these offensive resources they have.
Really. And it's funny because you make a good point, because Rasheed Bronson is one of the ones who made the big play earlier, and that's not even an Adams, but we haven't even heard from Van Ness Scantling yet.
Looking for more. Flowers looking for Mitchell Wilcox. He just threw it down into the dirt, knows he made a mistake there.
Even though he's had the spectacular wild plays, which he had last week as well, the little plays will become more important if this team is going to contend for a championship moving forward. That's the one thing he's going to have to clean up, and I'm sure quarterbacks coach Sean King is going to be working with them on just that.
Coach Taggart telling us that Sean King has made a big difference, former NFL quarterback, now quarterback's coach, counseling Flowers. Nice little competition between coach and player. Flowers keeps it. Maybe picks up 2. There's Sean King. In fact, Coach Taggart told us that, you know, there's a little bit of competition really between these two guys.
Yeah, and I think that you can see the disappointment on Sean King's face right there, because he knows that they let one get away. They could have gone up by 21, and now Northern Illinois has kind of turned the tide by forcing a field goal attempt by Emilio Nadelman. So I think from that aspect, that has to be a victory for Northern Illinois.
Nadelman on to attempt a 26-yarder to extend South Florida's advantage. Up and through the uprights. So they may not get 7, but they do get 3. There's a flag on the field on the far side.
You don't want this to be on Northern Illinois if you're a Northern Illinois fan.
Here's Tom Stapleton.
Illegal formation, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So that will back up Messer Nadelman just a bit. Willie Taggart was absolutely a joy to visit with last night, wasn't he?
He was, and you can tell that he feels good about where his program is at and where it's headed.
Nadelman, the junior from Miami Central High, now on to attempt a 31-yarder.
Always get nervous on that second field goal, is that right?
Not if you're Nadelman. South Florida now up 17-0. You're watching college football presented by Geico on CBS Sports Network.
A gentleman never breaks the rules, but he knows how to change the game. Flex-On Eyewear, an innovation in flexible frames that remember their shape and are resistant to breaking. That's the power of Flex-On. Bend the rules.
With this level of engineering, it's a performance machine. With this degree of intelligence, it's a supercomputer. With this grade of protection, it's a fortress. And with this standard of luxury, it's an oasis. Introducing the completely redesigned E-Class. It's everything you need it to be, and more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Allergy medicine not working? Try Nasacort for effective relief. It relieves the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion. It's non-addictive, scent and alcohol-free, and has no harsh taste. For 24-hour allergy relief, Nasacort.
Amongst the ruins of our fallen world lie riches beyond belief. Wealth, respect, glory, power. All yours for the taking. Dungeon Hunter 5. Download now for free.
Power. Steering wheel. Performance. Shift. Pigskin. Seat. And pepper. Let's go. Perfectly engineered for tailgates, home gates, well, any type of gate. Introducing the future of tailgating. The all-new Tailgate 2000.
My best invention since the college football playoff.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper here!
Harry, told you can't park this here, man.
How'd you know it was me?
Let's go, Dr. Pepper here!
Rod Carey's Northern Illinois Huskies have to figure a few things out. They trail at 17-0, 14 minutes, a little over, left in the second quarter here in Tampa. And you think, Corey, that maybe just the field goal on that last drive was not a bad thing for Northern Illinois?
Not at all. And the reason why I feel that way is because if you could come down here and score and begin to, I believe, just string some first downs together, even if you only get up 3 yourself, you make it back into a 2-possession game, and defensively stopping them, settled them down a little bit.
They are set to kick off. You saw Tyree McCants leaving the field. Melanie will have an update on that when we have more information. Turner fields the kickoff in his own end zone. Down the sideline, he's tight roping and runs out of bounds. You can see the frustration in his body. Again, this guy, when he cuts loose, he is gone.
Yeah, and this right here is just a simple sideline return. Now he's following the block of Jordan Huff and keeps the balance and gets a couple extra yards. It would have just been him and Nadelman, and I think he could have made him miss. Boy, he is electric.
35-yard return, and he's back out with the offensive unit. Drew Hare, the quarterback who missed most of last season with an Achilles injury, has come back, performed admirably last week against Wyoming in that 3-overtime loss. That's Bouagnon over the left side. Bouagnon, a 1,000-yard running back last year, picked up 8 yards on that carry. Last week, he just had 16 yards rushing, and he is capable of much, much more. Hare sets, in trouble, gets rid of it, and he had Wyman, the tight end open, but he couldn't hold on.
And he was late to get to him. I mean, and almost let the pressure get on his back. I mean, right here he's open, but he's looking the other way. And so by the time he finds him, now it's an adjustment for Wyman, who clearly should have caught the ball.
3rd and 2 from the 42-yard line. Intended for Turner defensively. Nice work by Nate Godwin.
Now you got a decision. Do you go for it? You're almost in South Florida territory, and they're going to decide against it. But it's a danger zone, so you can understand why there was a thought process that time by Rod Carey and Mike Urimovich, because if you don't score here and they get the ball back and score again, now you're really put behind the 8 ball.
That was NIU's first 3 and out in the game. There's Taji Fullwood back at his own 15-yard line. Ambrose's punt is on the way. Short knuckleball punt. It will go out of bounds near the 24-yard line. And that's where South Florida will start their offensive roll. 17-0.
They're here. The latest game changers from Polaris. Ranger XP 1000, the most powerful Ranger ever. General Ford, the off-road's most popular new crossover. And Ride Command, groundbreaking technology to connect you, your machine, and your friends like never before. See the best of 2017. Or grab a great deal on remaining 2016s. Get rebates up to $2,000 during the Polaris factory authorized clearance.
Bud Light Party is for everyone, men,
Women.
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
We'll sell you a beer any day of the week.
Mom, Dad.
Son?
Now that FedEx has streamlined our e-commerce and helped us grow our business, I think it's time we start acting like a business.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, look at this.
Okay, so number 1, no personal items are permitted in the workplace. So those will need to come down. We'll be doing some mandatory testing. And there's also a strict no dating policy.
But honey, we're married.
That's gonna be a problem.
Grow your business with the online shipping tools from FedEx.
Do you believe the United States is the greatest country in the world?
You ready for a little action?
They're gonna come for me. They're gonna come for all of you too.
Snowden, rated R.
Three, two, one.
17-0 South Florida, 13-13 remaining in the second quarter. Melody, you're following a couple of things down on the field right now.
That's right, Dwayne. We saw number 8, Tyree McCants, leave the field. I'm told it's a left knee injury. He's getting x-rays, and I'll let you know as I know more on that. Meanwhile, I've been keeping my eye on the NIU bench, and I'm just surprised to see that there's really nothing going on. No emotion shown one way or the other, and not to be down on the Huskies, but you have to wonder how much the Bulls need to be up by for someone to step up and lead vocally and pump these guys up. They're down by 17, guys.
So, Corey, when you're out there, and you've been in this situation on both sides of the bench.
Unfortunately.
When you're there, like when you're on NIU's side, what precisely is going on?
Well, I think right now that the main thing, you're waiting on somebody to energize your team. That means that some of these players that you look for to make big plays, it could even be Shawan Lurie, somebody has to make the play to change the tide.
South Florida, offense has been rolling in this first half, couple of big plays. Trying to grind it out in the middle. Corey, for a program like Northern Illinois that is used to winning, an amazing string of bowl games, 6 MAC championship appearances, maybe sometimes you're not sure what happens when you're in this situation.
Especially after the way you ended the season. And we'll get into that a little bit more after this play, but I think that's an interesting point you bring up.
Flowers in the shotgun. Man in motion was forward. Flowers keeps it and gets near a first down, where he's brought down by Trayshawn Foster.
And to pick up on your point there, Dwayne, at the end of the year, don't forget, they lost 55-7 in the bowl game to Boise State. And then they come back and lose a road game. And now you come down here and you're down by 17. That's the reason you're seeing some of the looks on those players' faces.
6-yard pickup, sets up 3rd and 2. Darius Tice, number 13, in the backfield. Flowers looking over to the bench for the call from Coach Taggart. Quick toss. That's Tice. First down and more. Still on his feet. Shawan Lurie and Foster bring him down, but not before the Bulls move the chains again. And Lurie, the All-America cornerback, is on his knee and appears to be hurt. 19-yard pickoff.
That's a tough position that Joe Sanders is in on the edge. I mean, he's got the forced responsibility. He's trying to decide is Flowers going to keep it. All of a sudden he pitches it, and now you lose the next forced replacement that comes up is the corner after Allen misses the tackle. And then he gets some friendly fire contact from a player I like a lot, Trayshawn Foster. So a lot going on that play, but they were attacking Joe Sanders.
Well, this is something Rod Carey does not want to see. Lurie is one of the best cornerbacks in the country, first-team All-America, 9 interceptions last year, and you don't want his fire off the field.
You made an interesting point when you used the word fire, because I think that we just talked about them needing some of that. You know, you get a strip right here, maybe that turns the tide, but he's competing, and so is Foster, so that's just unfortunate.
So the play set up first down. Northern Illinois' defensive unit is being pushed back by this explosive South Florida Bulls offense. And Coach Taggart told us they want their foot on the gas, pressed down the entire time. That's Rodney Adams in motion. Right up the middle, left side, and more room. And Darius Tice is enjoying the opportunity to start.
He's taking advantage of it. He has the one-on-one. That's number 49, Trayshawn Foster. He's got a chance to get him on the ground right there. Look at the wiggle by Tice. and bounces it outside.
21-yard pickup by Tice, whose career high is 94 yards, if you were wondering, last year against Cincinnati. To the end zone, touchdown! Rodney Adams. 26-yard strike by the Gulf Coast offense. Flowers has figured out his throwing motion from last week.
And this is a popular NFL concept that they came to back right here, and he executed it. And that's one that I think his quarterback coach, Sean King, who played in the NFL, will be proud of.
Nadelman on for the extra point. And it's 24-0 South Florida. Willie Taggart told us last night they can be scary good with all of these offensive resources. Adams is just one of them. Bulls stampeding early here in Tampa.
From engineering and manufacturing to stealth bombers to next-generation fighters, to landing an unmanned vehicle on a carrier for the first time in history. Just wait till you see what's next. That's the value of performance. Northrop Grumman.
Every journey starts somewhere. Have the power of a 395 horsepower Hemi V8 to finish it. With America's longest lasting pickups, you always hit the ground running. And with a coil link rear suspension, keep the ground from hitting back, so you can cover a whole lot more of it. Get the power of lasting performance now during Ram Power Days. Now get 20% off MSRP cash allowance on select 2016 Ram 1500 models in dealer stock.
Americans don't celebrate the good enough canyon. We didn't aim to be second to the moon. Verizon doesn't settle for good enough either. So now we're introducing Verizon LTE Advanced. With 50% faster peak speeds in more than 450 cities coast to coast. So don't settle for an unlimited plan with limits. Switch now and get our best deal. 20 gigs of limitless data with 4 lines for only $160. Welcome to the Next Gen Network.
Under the roof of a home or business, damage can happen. When it does, turn to the specialists who put help in the palm of your hand. The Ready app and emergency response plans from 1-800-SERVPRO, like it never even happened.
Bud Light Party is for everyone. Men,
Women.
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
We'll sell you a beer any day of the week.
The Rodney Adams touchdown catch has South Florida up 24-0. Corey, you like what you saw with Flowers' motion on that throw, didn't you?
Well, they're running in what they call in the NFL a sluggo seam. So down here at the bottom, Rasheed Bronson is running the slant and go, and you have Adams in the slot running the seam. Now, normally, and we're going to pause it right here. They're asking Flowers to make the safety get his attention over here, and he's going to come back to the seam. But they actually stay back deep. So now he has to make the throw over top of the safety, and look at the placement. So that was just an outstanding job of, they actually called that play, Dwayne, for another coverage, and he still beat the coverage with the proper technique.
Coach Willie Taggart told us last night that Flowers is just so much better than he was a year ago, isn't he, Corey?
And I think that we've seen it's been a little bit up and down with a shorter game, but down the field. I mean, I think you've seen that his technique down the field. You saw it last week against Towson, and we've seen it tonight. Dangerous throwing down the field. He has gotten better.
Argale's Turner and Huff back to receive the kickoff. Turner will take it in the end zone. Northern Illinois will have the ball at the 25-yard line. Tomorrow, it's kickoff 2016 and the season premiere of the NFL on CBS. In one matchup, the Bengals battle the Jets. Meantime, the Chargers challenge the Chiefs, or the Dolphins square off against the Seahawks. Check local listings, beginning with JB, Boomer, Tony, Coach, and Bart on the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. Boomer Esiason knows both those teams, wore the uniform. We'll be hearing from Boomer tomorrow in the studio.
I remember him in that '88 season, that MVP year. One of the best years I've ever seen.
NIU with the ball needing to get something going, trying to run it over the right side. That's Jordan Huff, stopped by Augie Sanchez. Corey, do you realize NIU has not driven past the South Florida 47-yard line tonight?
It's been amazing how the lack of production.
Hare finds Golladay, whose name we have not called at all this evening once the game commenced. And he is a major, major component of this offense. 4-yard pickup.
Well, I think it's a good point you bring up, because I think that both of the corners here, if they play off of him, their quickness, they're quicker than him, so they can beat him to the spot. So he'd have more problems getting separation against these smaller, quicker corners of USF than a bigger corner where he can use his.
3rd and 1, ball on the 34-yard line for Northern Illinois. It was close. Huff may have gotten just enough for the first down. But right there was Kevin Bronson, the junior from Delray Beach. They'll give him the first down, 2-yard pickup. 12-6 in first downs. Northern Illinois on the short end of that statistic. There's Huff, left side, gets out to the 40. Devin Abraham on the tackle. Pickup of 3.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you would like to get 4 or 5 on first down, but if you could just right here pick up 5 more and create a manageable 3rd down, important.
Huff with 42 yards rushing last week. They keep it on the ground, go back to him, and he's stacked up. Augie Sanchez leading the way, and the captain says, no, there's the land shark. It's back.
I tell you, it is back, and for him, tonight, he's been in a rhythm. He's done a very good job, I believe, of understanding the flow of these running backs, and you can tell he put his time in the film room.
Sanchez's older brother, Armando, was a linebacker from 09 to 11 here. Hare in trouble, going down. Kevin Bronson, the big junior from Delray Beach. 8-yard loss.
Here he goes in there, and you can see that he's doing a good job of posting Luke Shively, the center. And that's a tough matchup. When you got a guy with that kind of quickness that gets on the side of you and pushes you back into the back, but that was excellent strength by Bronson, a player who was on the come late last season.
Jake Ambrose back at his own 16 to punt. Taji Fullwood, low knuckleball of a punt. Goes out of bounds near the 35-yard line, and that's where South Florida will take over. And so far, Corey, frankly, Rod Curry looks perplexed.
Yeah, and really, I think it's what you have coming off last week. And you come here and you're trying all week to get your players to believe, hey, we know we're going into a tough environment. We've got to run the football. We've got to play really just solid defense and not give up the big play. And both things, both facets you've struggled to do thus far.
Drew Hare on the phone, probably no doubt, talking to his offensive coordinator, Mike Yurimovich, up there along with Kevin Kane, the defensive coordinator, both of whom are in the booth and cannot be pleased with the way things are going right now. First down from the 44 for South Florida. That's Tice. Stopped by Jamal Payton and Anthony Brooks. 5-yard pickup. As we noted earlier, if you're just joining us, Marlon Mack, the all-conference running back, is out. Concussion protocol. They decided to hold him out tonight. And Darius Tice got the start and has performed impressively well. There's Quentin Flowers. Already has a couple of touchdown tosses in this one. And the Bulls are looking for more. That's Rodney Adams in motion. And he gets the ball on the sweep. Breaks the tackle, still on his feet. Finally pushed out of bounds by Renard Shurin. But The Bulls offensive unit is doing just what they told us last night. The coaches did, Corey, that they wanted to do, just attack you from all points.
From all points, and Adams is a player. Here goes that wide bunch again up here at the top.
17-yard pickup, set up another first down. This time, Sean Folliard was there, and Smaha, Austin Smaha, the senior. This Northern Illinois defensive unit looks a little gassed right now.
Well, I mean, I just pointed out that the last formation, we saw Adams to play before that on the first down on a sweep from the slot. Now he's back in the slot again right here. So they're moving players all over the place. And I think that is one of the things that is really tough to defend because you got to think too.
2nd and 7 after the 3-yard pickup. Flowers, toss to Adams, gets away from one tackler. Another first down for the Bulls. Defensively, Allen makes it over there. Michael Allen, who had 13 tackles last week against Wyoming, but not before Adams on the 8-yard play picks up a first down.
You see Adams, this is just a bubble screen. And look at the block that time by Mitchell Wilcox. He comes out, makes an excellent block, then he tries to get a second block.
First downs, 14-6. South Florida has the advantage. Flowers rolling right, tucks it away, will run. Gets out of bounds as he's pushed out by Shuren. There is an injured player down on the field for Northern Illinois after that 2-yard pickup. That's William Lee, a junior nose tackle from Indianapolis. He is one of the young men that they've counted on to carry quite a load for this defensive unit, has Kevin Kane, the coordinator this year. And it's actually Lee and his teammates right in the interior of the defensive line for Northern Illinois that they really need a solid year from, Corey.
They do. I was impressed with him last year watching him against Ohio State. Thought he played okay in that game, both him and Corey Thomas. They're rotating in a lot tonight, Ben Leroy. And we can kind of get a look at it right here.
Yes, Mario Jones, his teammate, knocked him down. Yeah, accidentally, of course. But Lee is okay. Two-time academic All-American, two-time academic All-Conference. A journalism major, meaning, Corey, he's coming for your job.
He can have it. You got to make some plays, too, though.
2nd and 8. Ball at the 21-yard line. South Florida on the move. Flowers looking into the corner and overthrows his receiver. Melanie, you have more on Messer Lee.
Yes, Dwayne, for NIU defensive tackle William Lee, football was really that saving grace that got him on the right track. He never had a stable home growing up. He was in and out of homeless shelters, and this summer he suffered unimaginable loss when he received a call on June 28th that his 20-year-old sister had been murdered by her ex-boyfriend in Indianapolis. So he now uses her as his inspiration and says he wants to dedicate this season to her. And when I spoke to Coach Carey this week, he said, believe me, Mel, when you and I struggle day to day, that's nothing. When William Lee says he's having a bad day, I listen.
Special young man, Melody. Very special young man. South Florida on 3rd down, so far 4 of 6.
First charge timeout, South Florida.
Northern Illinois wants to talk about it. Timeout on the field. 24-0. Rod Carey's facing an uphill climb.
Honey, what are you doing?
Watching a cow.
Oh, what's it doing?
Impressions.
Power up your morning with a new 300-calorie egg white grill. Only at Chick-fil-A.
Strike package Bravo. Launch alert.
Around the world, around the clock, in defense of all we hold dear back home. Learn more at Navy.com.
When you're busy running your own business, marketing can fall last on the list. You know what you need, and Vistaprint makes it easy to get it. Looking to connect? 500 business cards start at just $9.99. Need to share important info? 500 postcards start at just $35.99. Or do you want a standout space? Banners start at just $9.59, and they're all absolutely guaranteed. So go to Vistaprint.com by September 18th and enter promo code TVDEAL and get what you need.
The average age of a homeless person is 9 years old. My dream is to help kids living on the streets with education.
Charles, what's up, buddy?
Why we help? Oh, man. Yes. Wow. How you doing? My heart about to jump on my chest, man.
Charles, you ought to be proud, man.
I'm just extremely grateful they were here, giving them some encouragement. That's something that these kids are going to remember for a lifetime.
Don't you see his big old feet?
South Florida leading with 6:11 remaining in the second quarter, 24-0 over Northern Illinois. Coming up on the Verizon halftime report, Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, and Christian Fourier. Scores and highlights from around the country and first half analysis of what has been a very interesting day in college football. I think this weekend turned out to be more interesting, Corey, than a lot of people thought it would be. You know, the top teams winning, but, you know, Georgia and Clemson didn't exactly look like world beaters.
Especially that Clemson game. I mean, it was really close for most of the game, and Deshaun Watson struggled, and that's, you know, the second week in a row he's had a little bit of struggles. And I think the guy to watch out of here is Ohio State with J.T. Barrett. He had the big performance last week in the opener against Bowling Green, and I think he's a sleeper player who has a lot of experience.
That's the Ram Trucks AP poll. Alabama still number one. South Florida looking for more, 24-0. That's Adams slipping and evading tacklers. Finally, he's corralled. Michael Allen, number 20, leading the defensive unit on the tackle. 4-yard pickup.
This is important. I mean, they're going to go for the field goal. That was a big stop. I mean, that's the second time now that Northern Illinois' defense in the red zone has done a pretty good job of at least forcing a field goal.
Emilio Nettleman already has a 31-yarder to his credit. This one from 34 yards to extend the lead. His holder is Brent Gordon. Add 3 more for the Bulls. South Florida now up 27-0. Rod Carey, he's had a few stops, but nothing on the offense, but at least a couple of field goals. That could have been 7.
I mean, if you put those the 2 different times where they were able to hold them to 3, well, all of a sudden now you could be talking about a 35-0 game, and it could be a big difference. Now you have a chance because you get the ball back first in the second half. So I think right now it's about shortening the game a little bit. And so now you're at this mark with only 5 minutes to go. You're going to have to complete some passes to set up the run.
His coordinators, Kevin Kane, defensive coordinator, and Mike Urimovich, the offensive coordinator, looking on. Remember, this team was picked to finish 3rd in the MAC West, went 8-6 last year. We noted 6 straight appearances in the MAC championship game. They are used to success in DeKalb. And this is unfamiliar territory. Argeus Turner, number 22 on your right. Jordan Huff, number 23. But this man, Argeus Turner, the MAC Special Teams Player of the Year in 15. Nettleman's kick will sail through the end zone. And that sets up Northern Illinois' offense. Thursday Night Football is back, and it kicks off Thursday on CBS and the NFL Network. The New York Jets pay a visit to old coach Rex Ryan and the Buffalo Bills. Both looking for primetime magic. Football starts here. Thursday nights on CBS and the NFL Network. A couple of interesting AFC storylines. The Buffalo Bills, Tyrod Taylor going up against his old team, Baltimore. Did you enjoy doing that?
Yeah, I
did. When you face your old teammates?
I did, because I like to talk a little bit of smack, and they like to talk it back. So I thought it was fun.
Check your local listing. Should be a lot of fun. CBS, NFL this season. There's Turner getting his opportunity to get around on that jet sweep. He's run out of bounds. You sense that Northern Illinois needs a big play, Corey.
They really do. And you mentioned earlier that they were concentrating on trying to get this guy right here, Turner, involved in the action more. Well, and it looks like he's lining up outside right here, but throwing him the ball down the field could be a point of emphasis.
2nd and 5. Hare set to throw. Across the middle, it's caught. Golladay, 1st down.
It's a big play.
22-yard pickup.
You're going to see he's really just in here running some type of seam. He does a good job of working back across, and he gets inside of Devin Abraham off the hash. Time you get the safeties splitting the field, there's an opening there. It's an excellent throw by Hare.
That was the longest play from scrimmage for Northern Illinois tonight. Golladay, a great game last week. 3 touchdowns, 82 yards rushing, 144 yards through the air on 10 receptions. He is Mr. Dynamite. To the right side, nothing really doing as that that South Florida Bulls offense really closes fast, led by Mike Love. Now, pickup of 1.
Yeah, Love is one of those players, I believe, that the more he plays, the better he'll get. Last season, he came on a little bit near the end of the year, and so far this season, he's been off to a pretty good start.
2nd and 9. Hare, time to throw, steps up, drops it off to Turner, who makes a move before he is leveled by Jamon Thomas, the 6'3" sophomore who had 7 tackles last week in that win over Townsend. 7-yard play.
But now you're in one of those situations where you're in 2-down territory. So it doesn't really matter what you call here, because you're going to have to end up going for it on 4th down anyway.
3rd and 2 at the 40-yard line of South Florida. This is the deepest penetration of the evening for Northern Illinois. It's Bouagnon, left side, has space. 1 man to beat, still on his feet. Finally dragged down at the 12-yard line. Joel Bouagnon. 28 yards.
On the right side, that was an excellent job by Josh Ruka, number 70. He opened up the hole, and those backup defensive linemen are in the game for USF, and these are the guys you can run the ball on inside.
Bouagnon entered the season number 16 on NIU's rushing list all time. Hare to the air, and it's Turner, who we are hearing and seeing more of this evening than we did last week in the season opener. 5-yard pickup.
Another guy that needs to get involved in the passing game is Shane Wyman. We'll see if he comes up here shortly.
Wyman, number 35, the tight end. This is Bouagnon, left side. Augie Sanchez is there. So there's no field goal coming here, right?
But they've got it. I think right here, if they don't get the 1st down, they're going to go for it.
3rd and 1. Bouagnon. Straight ahead.
It's short. We're going to find out. I believe they got to go for it here.
Nate Godwin was there. The senior from Tampa, who was nursing a hamstring, and they feel he's 100% for the first time this year. Rod Carey talking to the officials.
I don't really know what he could be talking about here, but I think one thing he's trying to do is let the clock run down some more.
A bit of strategy here, and he calls the timeout. So it's 27-0, Northern Illinois. Corey, how important is it for them to punch it into the end zone via a touchdown?
Well, I think it's very important, and then it comes down to what plays do you want to run out. Last week in the game that you had against Wyoming, one of the plays down here that was effective for him was Drew Hare on the quarterback draw when they spread the formation out. So are you going to spread out USF, run a quarterback draw, or are you going to go to one of your principal passes that Hare's most effective at, and that's the sprint out? So I think those are 2 options here, because you got to think about something here. If you end up trying to spread it out and just throw one-on-one matchups, you haven't had a lot of success with that tonight. I think you've got to go with some type of design play.
Well, they were 1 for 3 last week against Wyoming on 4th down. So it'll be interesting to see what Mike Yurimovich dials up on this play. 4th and 2, trailing 27-0, 1:41 remaining in the second quarter. Drew Hare looking over the alignment. Northern Illinois really needs this one. And what happens? A little chess match. Rod Carey was uncomfortable with something he saw and called a timeout.
And that was a smart move. I think at this point, when you're trying to find that one play, you kind of want to see if you've got some timeouts left in the first half, you still have 2 left. You kind of want to see what they're going and how they're going to try to defend your personnel group. Now, he decided to come out in that last play with 3 tight ends. So let's see if they stay with that same personnel grouping and were they satisfied with the look from USF.
And be mindful, this defensive unit of South Florida is very aggressive, had 4 turnovers last week against Townsend, and Coach Raymond Woody, the defensive coordinator, told us, takeaways, 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 that's what they stress. Here we go, 4th and 2. It's Turner in motion. Turner, left side, touchdown, Northern Illinois. 4-yard run. The Huskies really needed that.
That was an excellent play call.
This allows you also, when you go into the locker room, Corey, it makes a big difference, right?
No doubt. I think that not only the momentum, you won't say it's changed, but the spirit of your team is certainly.
Well, the conversation's better in the locker room,
no
right?
question.
Christian Hagan's extra point is good. And it's 27-7, but Northern Illinois is now on the board. Argeos Turner finding the end zone, finally, for Northern Illinois. Rod Carey's team still has a lot of work to do. It's been a long night so far for Northern Illinois. Is it possible, Corey, that they were simply shocked by the speed and efficiency of South Florida's offense?
I think it can catch you off guard a little bit, just how they're able to not only run the plays fast, but then what you just talked about, the speed of the players who are running the plays fast. Because you had some tempo last week from Wyoming. You've had tempo from other teams in the MAC. But have you had the tempo with the team speed? And I think that's what USF brings to the table.
Bruce Clark, our producer, reminding me, Mike Tyson said everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Well, hey, listen, we've seen some punches. We've seen some people go down to the mat, but Northern Illinois just got up.
Rodney Adams and Tyree McCants. It's Adams. He's corralled and taken out of bounds by Jamal Payton. If you're Willie Taggart, and I think I know the answer from what he told us last night, do you play it safe here or you keep your foot on the gas pedal?
Well, I think it's more about the development of your quarterback than it is even about the gas pedal part, because I think in a 2-minute situation, you can't emulate live repetitions in practice. So a 2-minute situation right now, at this part, something that you may not get until a game gets close and tight a couple weeks from now.
Melanie was following McCants earlier. You see him back on the field. This is Johnson. Fresh legs. Dearness Johnson gets into the secondary where he's met by Renard Sheeran. 8-yard pickup. This time Johnson stumbles. Mario Jones stops him in the backfield along with Adele Fleming. 1-yard pickup.
Now I think if you're Northern Illinois, you got to go ahead and take the timeouts and use them to try to get the ball back, because you had to see what they were going to come out and do. Now, in the first run, they may have been trying to set up a pass on second down. But now
the game clock to 1:06, please.
They're adding some time. Tom Stapleton just indicated they were adding time onto the clock.
which is positive for Northern Illinois, because if by any stretch of the imagination, if you can force at the third down stop here, you still have one timeout left, then you're in a totally different situation. So now it comes down to, what do you do if you're USF? Do you try to get the first down running it? And if you're Northern Illinois, do you load the box?
Coach Chavis, what do you call?
Oh, I'm going to pass the ball here. I would do a receiver screen, and then I would pick the tempo back up, because, again, they still have one timeout left. So I think it's important to get him into some type of 2-minute passing type of rhythm before they get into a game that's close.
You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico, along with Corey Chavis, Melanie Collins, and our entire CBS Sports Network crew. I'm Dwayne Ballin, and South Florida and Quentin Flowers have pretty much had their way with Northern Illinois in this first half, leading 27-7. 3rd and 1. That's Johnson has the first down. He gets out of bounds, escorted by Brandon Mays and Renard Sharon.
You got to put up more of a, do a better job on the edge that time with your right defensive end. I mean, Joe Sanders didn't really have the energy there, but I would have liked to have seen a better charge. It was simply a toss. There was nobody there. You really would have liked to have seen from them a little bit better defensive strategy.
That 10-yard pickup set up another first down, this time at the 42. Flowers, play action, rolling right, fires downfield. Receiver was open, but he reverted back to a short-handed throw that he made earlier in the half.
We've seen about 5 of them thus far in the first half. It's been the good and the bad of Quentin Flowers all season so far. You saw it last week when you turn on the Towson tape, and you're seeing it again here. A lot of it is when you're throwing on the run, re-squaring your shoulders. Now, he doesn't do that here. He tries to aim the ball.
2nd and 10. Perfectly read by Jawan Johnson, the sophomore from East St. Louis. 1-yard loss.
And what a job getting off the block of Elkanah Dillon. You're able to defeat those stalk blocks. You can make these screens turn into a nightmare for the offense.
30-second timeout on the field. So Northern Illinois is still hopeful it can get the ball back, believe it or not.
Well, I think they're in a much better situation now than they were earlier on a 3rd and short, because now it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, excuse me, after the big stop. And this is where I think you've had some struggles from Quentin Flowers.
With the exception of that last play just now, we have barely called the name of Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and he is a game breaker, number 11 for South Florida, with Bronson and Adams who carry the load receiving. But if they can get Valdez-Scantling going downfield, he is tough to defend.
He really is, and I had a chance to talk a little bit with Torrey Holt, the future Hall of Fame wide receiver who went to NC State, and he talked about just the talent and how explosive he was just watching him in practice.
Yeah, he was a transfer from North Carolina State, nearby Lakewood High School in St. Petersburg, but he is 6'5" and can fly and catch. 3rd and 11. Flowers stepping up, going to run, get out of bounds. That brings up 4th down. Now the opportunity that you spoke of for Northern Illinois to get the ball back.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised that he went out of bounds there. I mean, because obviously they're going to not, until they reset the ball, the clock won't start again, but that did provide a quick stoppage. So that was a little bit of a surprise.
Jonathan Hernandez, who hasn't had to punt too much this evening because his teammates have been scoring touchdowns and field goals. Gets off a nice high punt. It takes a South Florida bounce down to the 2-yard line. Excellent punt by the sophomore from Bradenton, 52 yards for the Florida State transfer.
He's replacing a pretty good punter from a year ago, Matthias Shabati.
Look at that, nice little 7-iron. Maybe a wedge.
He's a big punter.
I think it landed softly, went high and landed softly right on the green.
He did. He had a couple of impressive hang times a week ago. He's going to have to speed up his operation as they get a little bit deeper into their schedule, but he's got a big leg.
So Drew Hare and his teammates come out. He has 86 yards passing so far on the evening, beginning from the 2-yard line. And they keep it on the ground, playing it conservative. Underneath the bottom of that pile was Joel Bouagnon and Hare. No gain on the play. Remember, Northern Illinois will receive the second half kickoff. They deferred at the beginning of the game. That's the end of the first half with the score. South Florida 27, Northern Illinois 7. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. And it's been all Bulls for the most part of this first half. Coach Willie Taggart must be a very happy man right now, because his Gulf Coast offense has been able to do pretty much everything it's wanted to do so far in the first half. A couple of big plays, Rodney Adams, Bronson, Flowers up and down a bit, but making the plays when he needed to make it. Melanie is down on the field with Coach.
Thanks, Dwayne. Coach Taggart, your offense is rolling right now. Let's start with the other 2/3 of that three-headed running back monster you have, Tice and Johnson. How pleased are you with their performance in place of Max so far?
Good. I think both those guys are coming in and running the ball hard and allowing us to move the sticks a little bit. They both doing a good job for us right now.
Your team's only allowed 7 points in the first half. It looked like it was about to be a shutout. What's been most encouraging about the defense?
Well, they've been getting 3 and outs, and they haven't been on the field long at all, and that's always good. You know, we gave up one big pass play and another big run. Other than that, our guys have been doing really well.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, Melanie Willie Taggart leaves the field a very happy man. That's the end of the first half with the score 27-7, South Florida leading. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico.
Is that iced tea?
Nope, it's lemonade.
Is that iced tea?
Lemonade.
Iced tea?
What's with these people, man? Lemonade. Read the sign. Lemonade. Read it.
Okay.
Delicious.
Iced tea at a lemonade stand? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Marin saved by switching to Geico.
No iced tea. It's lemonade, man.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Away. Away is the smell of victory. And the smell of burgers. Away is always having home field advantage, even when you're miles away from home. Find your away. For a dealer in the RV that's right for you, visit GoRVing.com.
Bud Light Party is for everyone, men,
Women.
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
We'll sell you a beer any day of the week.
No 2 allergy days feel the same. With Nasacort, even on your worst days, relief can be yours. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your nasal allergy symptoms, Nasacort stops more for effective relief. Nasacort, guaranteed, or your money back.
I see. 2 p.m., Lincoln Park. Got it.
Rose for life?
Of course.
Thanks for the favor.
This is so romantic. Oh, really?
Dang it, Carl.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
There's a lot of performance hidden in these tires. These tires are insanely good. Selected as a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. If this is what experts thought about Cooper tires, imagine what you'll have to say. They're impressive on all surfaces. Put Cooper tires on your car today.
Are you one of over 26 million Americans with a tax problem? Are you being audited, or do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Well, listen closely, because the IRS has recently announced major changes to its tax forgiveness program. That's right. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes and are looking for a permanent solution and a firm you can trust, call Coast One Financial Group right now for your free confidential consultation. What are you waiting for?
Call 800-334-1197. That's 800-334-1197.
You are watching the Verizon Halftime Report on CBS Sports Network.
Well, Dwayne Ballin said it. If you're the head coach, Willie Taggart at USF, you run off that feeling awfully good coming off the field. Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Christian Fourier, 27-7 at the break. USF preseason pick to win the East in the American. They very well, next to Houston, might be the second best team, and they're showing why, especially on offense tonight.
Yeah, you know, they're executing in all three phases of the game, but my focus right now is on Quentin Flowers. Last week only completed 44% of his passes, but tonight he's having a great game. And when you look at what he's doing with all the skill position players on the outside, he's 10 of 17 for 21 yards, two TDs. But look at this, Rasheed Bronson. That's a 73-yarder. He just put that one up in the air and just let him go get it. Those type of players are helping him. Special team is playing good, defense is playing well, and Flowers is playing well.
And the running game, Darius Tice, 10 for 60, but man, they are filthy on the outside. Rodney Adams, some big plays as well. 11th ranked Texas off the biggest win of the Charlie Strong era, a season opening victory over Notre Dame. Tonight, the Longhorns squaring off with UTEP. Picking up second quarter, 10-zip. Aaron Jones, this guy's a really good running back in the group of five, Coach.
Aaron Jones, free safety, takes a bad angle, and Aaron Jones outruns the entire secondary.
51 yards, Miners down 3. Shane Buechele has been very good.
Shane Buechele, beautiful fade route, perfect throw.
He's 12 of 15 at halftime, Texas by 13. Arkansas, 15th ranked TCU, Austin Allen finds Jeremy Sprinkle, Christian.
Yeah, that would be another big tight end rumbling down the sideline.
And then Allen, this is pretty good, but Kenny Hill wasn't very
that's just a bad choice. That's a bad decision, and that's not going to work at all. That's a panic throw, and it hurt the team.
Pick 6, so Hill not playing well. It's 13-zip in that game. How about the battle at Bristol, the bull ring, the fastest half mile in NASCAR? Gerard Evans moments ago to Sam Rogers. First score of the game by Tech, leading Tennessee 7-0. Florida wasted no time, making waste of Kentucky over on CBS today. And highlights as well of Oklahoma State's unbelievable finish against Central Michigan.
There are other people just like you. Driven, determined. Those who use passion to spark creation. Others who are ready to unite and discover together. It all starts with you and continues with us, the University of South Florida.
We are American. We have the grit to dig deep and the courage to stand together. For us, it's all or nothing. You see, that's power. We are power.
Drifting can be the most demanding motorsport in the world. My name is June Lane. The high RPMs required to keep my tires spinning and rubber burning are brutal on engine oil. That's why Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer was formulated for performance on the track and the highway. Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer keeps my power on for split-second decisions, making every shift and turn count. When it comes to my engine and engine oil, I give it every advantage with Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer.
Find your perfect car, or the perfect car for her. AutoTrader, the only car search engine driven by you.
Frost was on the pumpkin that cold Boston morn, and Gronkowski was on Jim Baden's mind.
I was feeling a bit Gronky, so I said, why not? Let's do it.
Without Jim, I wouldn't have been in Jim's lineup.
With a last-minute switch that will forever go down as the old Gronkaroo, Jim, a.k.a. Holy Gronkamole, racked up 310 points and secured a triumphant victory in his league of 12 friends.
One word.
Gronk.
2 words.
The Gronk.
Where was this film crew when I won the week before, huh?
Make your moment with 1 week fantasy football at DraftKings. Create a private league and play against your friends, or pick a public contest and play for weekly prizes. Then draft your team to win.
Just for the record, I crushed him the next week.
Play in the free $100,000 contest week 1. Use promo code SMOOTH.
Is it cool if I change into a tank top?
Hearts. They get all the love. What about me, the liver? When you overindulge, I clean you up. If that's not love, what is?
Love your liver with Liverite Liverade, the natural dietary supplement that aids and supports liver function. Impurities in your liver can make you feel sluggish. Liverite's unique formula cleanses your liver from impurities in your diet and environment, so you can have better energy, better quality of life.
Love your liver with Liverite.
Available at CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and Walmart.
Halftime in Raymond James Stadium. Back at the Verizon Halftime Report, all USF. Rodney Adams has a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown as well. That one 26 yards over the top. All Bulls leading Northern Illinois. Also in the American, number 6 Houston, home for Lamar. Kyle Postma filling in for the injured Greg Ward Jr., who's nursing a shoulder injury. What does Postma do? He takes off.
He takes off. Good job right here, running the read option, and he puts it in the end zone.
And then Postma, the quarterback keeper. Who knew this guy's a runner as well, Coach?
Absolutely. Calls his number again, and once again, well blocked, touchdown.
42 zip. Houston, no problem. 106 and 2 scores on the ground for Kyle Postma. Central Michigan, Oklahoma State. 4 seconds left in regulation. Oklahoma State up by 3. Mason Rudolph throws it away as time runs out, but officials call this intentional grounding, so Central Michigan gets one more untimed down. Cooper Rush, a Hail Mary Christian to Jesse Kroll, who laterals to Corey Willis.
Yeah, this would call the Hail Mary / hook and ladder. I mean, this is great execution of this play. They probably repped it 100 times, never thought it would come up, and never thought they could actually complete it.
An unbelievable walk-off upset for the Chippewas. Now, they had the play wrong, and it came out. And in layman's terms, if you run a play, this goes back to Oklahoma State's 4th down play. If you run a play as time expires on a 4th down and get a penalty that includes a loss of down, there is no untimed down. So they got the rule wrong. There never should have been a play for the Chippewas. But in that situation, guys, the penalty would be a reward. So you would want to intentionally ground it, right? And so they actually logically got it right, but according to the rules, they were wrong.
They were wrong. And I'd say Oklahoma State, you know, you can punt it, you can sprint out, use those 4 seconds, somehow win that ball game. But the bottom line, Central Michigan outplayed them.
Yeah, and they did. And look the way that game ended. They were able to get points at the very end to seal it, and the hook and ladder was just unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Central Michigan obviously out of the MAC. It was a MAC officials crew. The Big 12 replay officials in the stadium said they could have called down. They did not. So both conferences at fault. 27-7 in our game. Second half to come, and a preview of our late game next.
I'm free like a bird. We all want to be as free as the birds. I know one day. But maybe the birds want to be as free as us. Introducing the newest member of the family, the Fiat 124 Spider. 'Cause I'm free like a bird. More fun than flying.
Americans don't celebrate the good enough canyon. We didn't aim to be second to the moon. Verizon doesn't settle for good enough either. So now we're introducing Verizon LTE Advanced. With 50% faster peak speeds in more than 450 cities coast to coast. So don't settle for an unlimited plan with limits. Switch now and get our best deal. 20 gigs of limitless data with 4 lines for only $160. Welcome to the Next Gen Network.
When your pain strikes, it's at the nerve level. Now, you can lidocaine your pain. New Icy Hot Lidocaine.
This powerful anesthetic penetrates quickly to desensitize aggravated nerves with the max-strength lidocaine available.
Lidocaine your pain with new Icy Hot Lidocaine.
Bud Light Party is for everyone. Men,
women,
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
We'll sell you a beer any day of the week.
With this place.
There's a lot of performance hidden in these tires. These tires are insanely good. Selected as a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. If this is what experts thought about Cooper tires, imagine what you'll have to say. They're impressive on all surfaces. Put Cooper tires on your car today.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or any other asbestos-related cancer, call now. Asbestos manufacturers sold deadly asbestos materials to thousands of companies, putting workers at risk. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be entitled to a portion of these funds and receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or ever going to court.
For your free legal consultation, call 1-800-453-1768 now. That's 1-800-453-1768. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
Welcome back. The SEC on CBS. Kentucky, Florida. Luke Del Rio threw for 320 and 4 touchdowns, including this one to Antonio Callaway.
Good job right here for protection. Look at the trajectory of this throw. Perfect to Callaway for 6.
45-7. Impressive for the Gators. Tennessee not impressive in the opener. Escaped App State. Playing at the battle at Bristol against Trayvon McMillan and Virginia Tech. And it's 14-0.
Yeah, and he comes around the turn, right? They're playing at a track, right? I mean, look at the speed.
Right,
tires.
Yeah, I think those are tire uniforms. They're tough to watch. Final game of our quadruple header comes up at 10:30 Eastern. It's going to be a battle between Cal and San Diego State.
It's going to be a good game. Donnell Pumphrey, watch the running back for San Diego State. They have not had a turnover since last year of the championship game. California, Sonny Dykes has Davis Webb, has him rolling.
Oh, man, two good offenses. It's going to be a thriller out west again, 10:30 Eastern. Second half from USF with the home team leading Northern Illinois 27-7. Enjoy the third and fourth quarter.
This has been the Verizon Halftime Report. Watch live, local, and primetime games with NFL Mobile, only on Verizon.
Experience the thrill of the Lexus Performance line. Because the ultimate expression of power is control. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Is it a childhood dream? Or a newfound interest? Have you always felt compelled? Or did you just discover the field? No matter how it became your passion, Northern Illinois University will help make it your purpose. Find what motivates you. Your future, our focus.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
The new face of HR is surprisingly human, so give your employees a more human HR platform. Namely, payroll, benefits, talent management, and more. Our software makes it easy, and our dedicated service reps help you deliver HR that supports your company's culture.
It's the best system I've ever used for anything related to operating a business. We'll use it for payroll, we'll use it for open enrollment for benefits, we'll use it for reviews. Everyone's interested in using it to collaborate, and I get all my information.
Our executives are much happier with how things run now. You can really focus on strategy and content, which is really great for an HR director.
Behind every successful business is a strong culture of engaged employees.
but they need the right technology to really thrive. We're here to keep your employees engaged and your company growing, namely HR for Humans.
Find out what Namely can do for your business. Schedule your free demo today at namely.com.
This is a legal alert for women diagnosed with ovarian cancer following the use of talcum powder. Lawyers are reviewing cases for women nationwide who developed ovarian cancer following the regular use of Johnson's baby powder, shower to shower, or other popular talcum powder products. Protect your family and call now to find out if you or a loved one may have a case.
Call 1-800-224-6803. That's 1-800-224-6803.
Tampa Bay on a warm September evening, South Florida. Ybor City. A lot of people go there to have a good time here in Tampa. Welcome back into Raymond James Stadium along with Corey Chavis. I'm Dwayne Ballin. Melanie Collins is also with us. 27-7 here at the half. South Florida pretty much has had its way. That Gulf Coast offense has been almost unstoppable.
It really has, and it comes down to being able to make the big play. And when you take shots down the field, it's important to connect. You begin to pierce the heart of the opposing team.
We take a look at some of the highlights, and there were not many for Northern Illinois, but a lot for South Florida.
But we talked about piercing the heart. This started off, this is a post route. He throws down the field to a guy you talked about all night, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and that sets up this fly sweep to Rodney Adams. And you can see that he's got balance, an excellent kickoff returner when he has the ball in his hand. Another deep shot, this time Rasheem Bronson down the right sideline, and he just runs away from Brooks. And this is another shot. This was off of a seam pass. They were faking something to the other side. On the other, for Northern Illinois, it's been a little bit of a conundrum trying to get something going, but this at the end of the first half had to give him some confidence, Dwayne.
Our Gales Turner scoring there. Geico difference makers this evening. Quentin Flowers, he's had a big night.
He has, and he's done some stuff on the ground, but I think probably the best thing he's done is throw the deep ball. He's had some dirt passes as well, so it's been a little bit up and down. And then Rodney Adams, rushing, receiving touchdown again. Last time he did it was in their bowl game, but he's an electric player.
Let's check in with Melanie.
Thanks, Dwayne. I spoke with Coach Carey just a moment ago. He said the morale among the team was really good in the locker room at the half. I asked him what was working for him there at the end of the half. He said, we finally got the run game going. That's what we need to do. And I asked him what his message was, and he said it's real simple. One play at a time, guys.
Thank you, Melanie. Rod Carey hopes that he figured out a few things in the locker room. His team was nearly overwhelmed by the offense of South Florida at the beginning of this game. And Willie Taggart had told you and I last night, Melanie, and our producer Bruce Clark, we met with him, that he wants to keep it coming and keep it coming hard. He thinks they can be scary good, and he just wants to keep it going full throttle all game. Our Gales Turner back to receive a kick from Nadelman, and the second half is underway. Turner fields the kick right at the goal line. Gets away from one tackler, breaks out of a foul, and gets across the 24-yard line, where Northern Illinois' offensive unit will take over. Turner will probably stay on the field, as he's been very effective. Drew Hare coming out to lead his teammates. They face a 20-point deficit as we begin this third quarter. And Coach Chavis, what do you dial up here on this first drive? What are the objectives?
Well, I think you want to get the guy you just talked about, Turner. Now he's aligned in the slot. You want to get him involved early on the possession pass.
They start on the ground. Jordan Huff, right side, met quickly by Augie Sanchez and Kevin Bronson. 3-yard pickup. Look at the first half drives for Northern Illinois. Not a lot of success there. Northern Illinois going tempo. This is Jordan Huff, gets a first down, but for a good while, they hadn't penetrated past the 47-yard line of South Florida in this game.
Well, they hadn't in that first drive with the 10 plays. That was actually the drive that had to be the most disappointing because they didn't come out of there with any points.
Huff 16-yard run sets up a first down. Huff again breaks out and is corralled and dropped by Kevin Bronson. Loss of one. Bronson having a pretty good night.
Yeah, him and Bronson along with Mike Love, two guys that you've been calling the names of quite a bit. Now, he almost lost the ball there.
Is his knee down, Corey?
His elbow, his right elbow.
His elbow is down. 2nd and 11. Hare, double pass inside. That's Huff, 4-yard pickup. So Huff gets the start offensively over Bouagnon at running back in the second half. 3rd and 7. Ball at the 46-yard line for Northern Illinois. Argales Turner is in motion. Hare trying to connect with Christian Blake. Defensively, Ronnie Hoggins was there, a sophomore from Coconut Creek, Florida, saying not tonight. So that brings on the punting unit and Jake Ambrose, who's seen a lot of activity this evening. Taji Fullwood will be back to receive the punt. Fullwood, an all-conference punt returner in the AAC. He calls for a fair catch at the 11-yard line, and that's where the Bulls offensive unit will take over. Well, defensively, South Florida did what it wanted to do. It stopped Northern Illinois from getting any momentum on that opening drive. So I imagine we expect to see the Bulls, Corey, just come out and go hard.
Yeah, I would imagine that they're going to keep that aggressive mentality that you've been talking about. I think that it is important when the Northern Illinois defense sees these types of spread formations to be alert for the quarterback draw.
You saw Flowers, 221 yards passing, his career high, 273, so he's certainly on track to break that. Second half, they start with Dearness Johnson in the backfield. Stopped by Jamal Payton, senior linebacker. Pickup of 5. Payton waited his turn to start, and he's been rewarded. Second and 5. It's Flowers. The pitch to Adams, who had trouble but is still on his feet. Bernard Shurin and Bobby Jones, of course, both there defensively.
That's a little triple option. USF pulling out all the stops with the variety of plays. I mean, they've run a lot of formations, a number of different types of plays, and that was a good stop by Michael Allen.
See Willie Taggart in his 4th year, 15 and 23 so far. That is the 3rd or 4th time we have seen him do that.
And that time they brought some pressure. I would excuse this one a lot more than the others because you're going to see the 2 guys that came on this play with Jamal Payton. I think it was Sharan as well. And you can see both of them. They're coming up inside, and that's really what causes the errant throw. Now, he still could have done a better job, I believe, of trying to, get the ball off a little bit quicker as he saw the pressure, but it was a good blitz.
That is just the second 3 and out for South Florida in this game. Jonathan Hernandez back to punt from his 3-yard line. Shawan Lurie waiting to punt. Waves it off. He's not going to field it. Takes a mild South Florida bounce. It'll be at the 32-yard line. And that's where Drew Hare and the Northern Illinois offensive unit will take over. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico.
Away. Away is the smell of victory. And the smell of burgers. Away is always having home field advantage, even when you're miles away from home. Find your away for a dealer in the RV that's right for you. Visit GoRVing.com.
Bud Light Party is for everyone. Men,
women,
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
We'll sell you a beer any day of the week.
How fast are Allegra gel caps?
Party's moved outside fast.
What a nice surprise, fast.
For allergy symptoms, Allegra is the fastest non-drowsy relief you can buy.
I'm not missing the hayride, fast.
Allegra gel caps, not just fast, Allegra fast, guaranteed or your money back.
And we'll be right back after this timeout.
Okay, let's go. Hunting groceries.
We get your passion. Visit a local Phillips 66, proud sponsor of the Mountain West Conference.
The average age of a homeless person is 9 years old. My dream is to help kids living on the streets with education.
Charles, what's up, buddy?
Whoa! We help? Oh, man.
Is that a basketball?
Yes. Wow. How you doing? My heart about to jump off my chest, man.
Charles, you ought to be proud, man.
I'm just extremely grateful they were here, giving them some encouragement. That's something that these kids are going to remember for a lifetime.
Don't you see his big old feet?
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Verizon. Join a better network because better matters. By Go RVing. Find your away. Go RVing. And by ServPro, helping make sure your home or business is ready for whatever happens.
Jason Pierre-Paul played one season at USF in 2009 and was a first-team All-America. After being drafted in the first round by the Giants, JPP won a Super Bowl and is a two-time Pro Bowler. JPP can play.
Yeah, he can. And I like the addition of Olivier Vernon because that's going to take some pressure off of him on the other side.
Right.
And maybe create some more one-on-one matchups if Vernon can finish on the passer instead of just having pressures.
Drew Hare, 12 of 19 so far, 90 yards. He and his Northern Illinois Husky teammates facing a 27-7 deficit. 11:55 remaining here in the third quarter in Tampa. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. With Corey Chavis, Melanie Collins, our entire crew, I'm Dwayne Ballin, and so far the Gulf Coast offense of South Florida has put on a show, and Northern Illinois' offense, with the exception of the end of the first half, has been almost non-existent, Corey.
It really has. Man.
That's Joel Bouagnon. Gets a block from Golladay and picks up a first down before he's stopped by Nate Godwin. A pickup of 12 yards. Well, Bouagnon is 16th on the all-time NIU list coming into the game. He's a 100-yard rusher last year per game, and they would like to see him get it going again. As Christian Blake makes the grab, he's wrestled down by Ronnie Hoggins.
This is just a simple hitch route, 5-yard, really kind of a little small square in, an excellent tackle.
6-yard pickup. NIU going tempo. Joel Bouagnon. But this is this a game that NIU wants to engage South Florida in?
Well,
tempo?
I think what they're trying to do is get some first downs. And if they can keep South Florida in a predictable defense, I think that's more of the reason for their tempo, is to get a predictable look. And right here, it looks like they have some man coverage. Why not take a shot to Golladay?
3rd and 2. Quick clear out to Golladay, who was tracked down in the defensive backfield and stopped by Nigel Harris. Harris last week had a 49-yard interception return in that victory over Townsend.
Take a look at his inside-out closing speed. I mean, this is really what has made him one of the most talked about players following the 2014 campaign. He had a rough year a season ago with injuries and consistency, but he looks like he's back. And when we talked to the coaches, Dwayne, and you felt like they could sense he was getting back to form.
Well, Raymond Woody, the defensive coordinator, said he has really stepped up for us so far this season. Ambrose's punt is away, and it will sail out of bounds. So when we return, South Florida will have the ball and an opportunity to add to its 27-7 lead.
At
Northrop Grumman, our microchips are getting so small and fast, they're taking on far bigger roles, completely transforming the world we live in, enabling entirely new kinds of technologies, and helping keep this country safe. All thanks to our full breadth of capabilities. Because to us, a microchip's impact should be anything but micro. That's the value of performance. Northrop Grumman.
Power. Steering wheel. Performance. Shift. Pigskin. Seat. And pepper. Asco. Perfectly engineered for tailgates, home gates, well, any type of gate. Introducing the future of tailgating. The all-new Tailgate 2000.
My best invention since the college football playoff.
Let's go! Dr. Pepper here!
Larry, told you can't park this here, man.
How'd you know it was me?
Let's go! Dr. Pepper here!
There's no one road out there. No one surface. No one speed. No one way of driving on each and every road. But there is one car that can conquer them all. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class. 5 driving modes let you customize the steering, shift points, and suspension to fit the mood you're in and the road you're on. The 2016 C-Class, starting at $38,950. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Megan loves coffee, but she doesn't know that coffee has acid, which breaks down tooth enamel. Thankfully, she uses Act Restoring Mouthwash with fluoride. It does more than freshen breath. It restores minerals to enamel for 40% stronger teeth. Act. Smile strong.
A gentleman never breaks the rules, but he knows how to change the game. Flexon Eyewear, an innovation in flexible frames that remember their shape and are resistant to breaking. That's the power of Flexon. Bend the rules.
10:01 remaining in the third quarter, 27-7 USF over Northern Illinois. Let's take a look at the Go RVing road trip facts. We take a look at USF's recruiting in Florida. 96 players on the roster from the state of Florida, including 49 players from the Bay Area, only 11 on the roster from outside of the Sunshine State. Average mileage that USF players travel for home to go to college, 128 miles. The FBS average, 446 miles. It's nice, Corey, when you've got an embarrassment of riches right in your own backyard.
Yeah, and these facilities, I mean, there are a lot of positives, particularly the fact that your parents could come watch you play.
South Florida with the ball, leading 27-7, 1st and 10, and it's on 21-yard line. Adams in motion. That's Dearness Johnson, still on his feet. Finally knocked down by Bobby Jones IV. And speaking of recruiting here in South Florida, there was a satellite camp here. Jim Harbaugh and Willie Taggart have a close relationship. And Taggart, you see the jersey that Jim Harbaugh was wearing.
Small.
We asked Coach about that. Flowers back to pass, looking up top, has a man. That's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. The first time we really called his name on a big pass play, that's a first down. But back to the satellite camps, Taggart said he thought it was great, and Harbaugh came down and he was really working, and the only question we had was about the jersey and the size of it that Jim Harbaugh was wearing. Flowers, again back to pass. Has a man open in the flats, got him. That's Rasheed Bronson, who already has a big touchdown from the first half.
Yeah, they're just running a sail route concept. Just basically, he's going to come down here and he's going to break it to the outside. They're clearing out everybody else. And when you see that throw, it's a little bit behind, but just on target enough.
29-yard pickup. Flowers back to the air again. If he can get away, throws across his body. But was Bronson inbounds? Officials.
This is just magic right here. Look how the balance to stay up off the ground. And then he's able to make a pretty good accurate pass, but clearly he was out of bounds. Still a good effort.
2nd and 10, ball at the 25. NIU appeared to be showing blitz. Peyton backed off.
Don't know if they've come enough tonight in giving him a lot of zone coverage.
Flowers is on number, left side. Bernard Shurin, one of the defenders there to get to him, along with William Lee.
That was just really an inside power with the quarterback serving as the running back. And you don't have somebody accounting for him when he becomes a runner.
3-yard pickup sets up 3rd and 7 at NIU's 22. That's Dearness Johnson in motion. Flowers again, left side, and Broom has the first down before he's tripped up by Brandon Mays. And the Bulls continue to move the ball with efficiency, a 9-yard pickup.
It's a lot of beef on the left side of that line. Jeremy Hall and Kofi Amici are doing a good job blocking up front.
Flowers this time setting back to throw. It's Dearness Johnson with the reception and leaps in for 6 more. Thirteen-yard score.
So much misdirection and a lot to contend with. And I think he kept his balance. That was just an excellent job of spatial awareness on the field by Johnson. Kept his balance. You don't see him touch that white. And clearly a touchdown and just a great effort.
That's pretty impressive. The Flying Walendas would have liked that. I hope I'm not dating myself.
Well,
and Nettleman's extra point is good. Dearness Johnson, the man that Willie Taggart says can do almost anything, shows us he can fly. The Bulls lead it.
I'm free like a bird. We all want to be as free as the birds. I know one day. But maybe the birds want to be as free as us. Introducing the newest member of the family, the Fiat 124 Spider. 'Cause I'm free like a bird. More fun than flying. Whether not morning till
Daddy, can I play now?
I love you too, baby.
We get your passion. Visit a local Phillips 66, proud sponsor of the Mountain West Conference.
If you're searching for something to finally relieve your pain, now's the time for lidocaine. New Icy Hot lidocaine.
This powerful anesthetic penetrates quickly to desensitize aggravated nerves with the max strength lidocaine available.
Lidocaine your pain with new Icy Hot lidocaine.
Esurance does insurance a smarter way, which saves money, like bundling home and auto coverage, which reduces red tape, which saves money. And when they save, you save. That's home and auto insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call.
Is your lunch break a race against the clock? You run here, you run there, until everything comes to a screeching halt. Tick, tick, tick. Now is the time for a 5-hour energy protein shot. 21 grams of protein, the energy you need for the rest of your day, and 100 little calories. It's not lunch, it's energy and protein, and a lot faster than fast food. 5-hour energy protein shots. Energy, protein, 100 calories.
Let's check in on our Chick-fil-A fan cam to see the fans' reaction here in Tampa. They are very happy, fired up, ready to go. Things not going too well for NIU fans, but the South Florida fans must be very pleased. 34-7, their Bulls are getting it done this evening. Dearness Johnson with that acrobatic catch and dive into the end zone. And Quentin Flowers is getting closer and closer. And he is there, career high, 280 yards passing, 13 of 22, 3 touchdowns. Corey, he hasn't made some of the mistakes he made last week against Townsend.
Yeah, he has it in terms of the one interception where, you know, he mistimed a little bit the seam throw and kind of took the defensive back into the football. But when you look at him even tonight, if he can just clean up some of those errant passes, you're talking about 17 or 18 of 22. So even with this impressive a performance as we've seen from Flowers, there's even more room for improvement, which is scary for upcoming opponents.
Well, Willie Taggart told us last night when we were chatting with him that this team, he feels, can be scary good when everyone gets it all down and hitting on all cylinders. Nadelman's kickoff is away. Gale Turner will field it at the 5, and it's out of bounds. Let's check in with Brent Stover in New York.
Arkansas at 15th ranked TCU. Austin Allen 13 yards to Drew Morgan. Third quarter, the Hogs lead 20-7, guys. Tough start to the year for TCU.
Thanks, Brent. Well, TCU, why should they be any different from any other highly ranked team? Have a tough game, right?
Yeah, and you heard that name, Drew Morgan, from Brent. And Drew Morgan is, when Arkansas really is in a pinch at the receiver position, he's the guy they go to on third downs and in most clutch situations.
Here, NIU has a tall task starting deep in their own territory. And that's a safety. South Florida's defensive unit has come to play this evening. Deidrin Sinnott, the 6'1", 305-pound junior, is the one that recorded the safety. And Drew Hare is still down on the ground, and they're not calling it a safety. But here is the thing. Drew Hare injured his Achilles last year and missed most of the season. And this was a totally different team without him. And one of the things that had Rod Carey so optimistic about this coming year was the return of this young man to the field.
And you can see the concern on their faces. And Sinnott is just a powerful human being. Now, he bench presses 500 pounds. And once he wraps you up, look at the weight fall on that left ankle.
That is the last thing that Huskies fans wanted to see. Their leader, Drew Hare, injured again. We'll have more when we return.
They're gonna figure out what I've done. They're gonna come for me. Leave that there.
Are they watching us?
You're out of time. It's war. I'm made to do this. And if I don't do it, I don't know anybody else that can. I'm asking you to trust me.
Are you going away?
Snowden, rated R. There's no one road out there. No one surface. No one speed. No one way of driving on each and every road. But there is one car that can conquer them all. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class. 5 driving modes let you customize the steering, shift points, and suspension to fit the mood you're in and the road you're on. The 2016 C-Class, starting at $38,950. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Northern Illinois fans do not want to see this. Drew Hare still being tended to. You see in the background there the cart. 6'1" senior means so much to them. The numbers with him last year, Corey, with and without. And he makes a big difference for them. He is their leader. He's even better this year, they felt he was, than he was last year. Mike Urimovich told us, the offensive coordinator. Hare already has a degree in leadership and management. He's studying business administration as a graduate student. And last year against Toledo, this was the injury that knocked him out for the balance of the season on November 3rd. And their season dramatically changed when this happened. They ended up at some point in the season going with a 3rd and 4th string quarterback, Corey.
It's unfortunate because of just the gruesomeness a little bit of this injury and just what he went through with the non-contact injury before. So he's such a player that the team rallied around, and you could tell that just what he was doing at the line of scrimmage this year, how much they had bought into his development and how much more of an onus they were going to give him in terms of responsibility.
And next man up is going to be Ryan Graham, number 17, the 6'1", 210 sophomore from Wheaton, Illinois. Graham, interestingly enough, the coaches told us that when Hare was out and he could not do anything physically, they assigned him the task of coaching Graham when he was out. And they felt that Hare got much better as not only as a player, but helping Graham get comfortable. And Rod Carey told us, frankly, we're comfortable with Graham as quarterback. Now, this is not the way they wanted him to enter a game.
Oh, no doubt. And
the crowd here gives him an ovation. But you certainly have to feel for this senior who has worked so hard to get back on the field for Northern Illinois. Drew Hare from O'Fallon, Missouri. Boy, that's tough. That's tough.
Definitely. You feel for the young man, and you just wish him the best and moving forward. Just not only because of the leadership, but because he's been consistent. And I think that anytime you bring that to a program, there's something that should be said for that.
Last week he had 329 yards passing, 3 touchdowns in that triple overtime loss to Wyoming and Laramie. So now this offensive unit has to pick itself up and rally behind Ryan Graham, the redshirt sophomore, who last year 55 of 102 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 691 yards passing. His last game against Boise State, he was 7 of 21 for 38 yards. So Ryan Graham now facing 2nd and 12 from the 1-yard line. It was not a safety. Let's check in with Melanie.
Thanks, Dwayne. Well, I stood and watched Drew Hare on that injury. It's his lower left leg, looked like an ankle. They put him in an air splint. He was visibly in a lot of pain. He had to be carried onto the cart, and he has left the field. His return is definitely doubtful, guys.
Thanks, Melanie. 3rd and 12. Ryan Graham back in his own end zone. Here comes pressure. He gets it away. Looking for Golladay.
Ronnie Hoggins is a player we haven't talked a lot about tonight, but in his one-on-one matchups with Golladay, he's won most, and he's let him know about it. He's a competitive, very feisty player. Dietrich Nichols gets a lot of attention on the other side, but Hoggins is a player who's impressed his staff from the beginning.
Hoggins, sophomore from Coconut Creek. Ambrose, his 8th punt of the evening. Haji Fullwood waiting just inside the 40-yard line. Fullwood gets it low. Fullwood picks it up. Still on his feet, but finally goes down. Let's check in with Brent in New York.
Dwayne, the battle at Bristol, 14 unanswered for Tennessee. Now Josh Dobbs hooks up with Josh Malone, 38 yards. Va Tech in Tennessee, 2nd quarter all square at 14, guys.
Wow, thanks, Brent. So Virginia Tech and Tennessee hanging tough there, and Bristol, and Tennessee has to show the country something, don't you think?
Yeah, after last week's performance against an underrated Appalachian State team, but the Josh Malone connection with Dobbs, 2nd week in a row, that has to serve as some type of promise for Tennessee balls now.
38-yard punt sets up South Florida at the 41-yard line. Rodney Adams just could not hold on.
Unfortunately, Bulls fans have seen that before.
So what would you think about playing a game in a NASCAR stadium?
I would love it. I think it's just tremendous. And they tried to get the game played about 20 years back, and they're finally getting it going now. You could put the whole Neyland Stadium inside of there. Right. So that's saying quite a bit for the atmosphere, I would imagine.
2nd and 10 for South Florida. Here's a quick pitch to Adams. Finds a hole left side into the secondary. Another first down for the Bulls. Jamal Payton chased him and brought him down.
And this is all about the blocking again on the outside by number 85, Elkanah Dillon. And you can see and he kicks him out, and that's what opens it up for Adams.
19-yard pickup sets up another first down. Flowers to throw, looking up top. Just overthrows his tight end, Elkanah Dillon.
He's trying to give him a little get back for getting the block. They're trying to show him some love with the wheel right up the sidelines. And Dillon is a very interesting player. He's the one player that a lot of people don't talk about, but man, he's done a really good job, I believe, of developing as a blocker. He's already shown he can catch the ball.
You see Rodney Adams appearing to be cramping up and stretched out a bit. Flowers, quick pass to Valdez Scantling, and he will get close to a first down. We noted earlier, Valdez Scantling is a transfer from North Carolina State. They said he'd been absolutely amazing on the scout team, and they couldn't wait to get him on the field this season. That's Tice carrying the ball and carrying a couple of defenders with him. William Lee stopping him after a pickup of a couple.
Looks like William Atterbury, number 78, he's kind of settled in at the right tackle spot. They had him playing a little bit at left tackle last week. He's only a freshman, replacing Marcus Norman, another redshirt freshman, and he's played well tonight.
Adams still being worked on the sideline. Flowers, quick pitch. That's Valdez Scantling again. 6'5", 207-pound junior from St. Petersburg, Lakewood. He and Adams are actually high school teammates.
Yeah.
Pickup of 2. Adams, a transfer from Toledo. So it's 2nd and 8. Ball on the 9-yard line, leading 34-7. South Florida has the ball and apparently control of the game. Melanie, we just mentioned that Adams and Valdez Scantling were teammates. They were more than just that in high school, weren't they?
Yeah, Dwayne, they go way back. They were track teammates in high school. They were both dominant on the track and field team. They won the 400-meter relay and helped Lakewood win the state track and field championship, so no shortage of speed in this wide receiving corps.
Yeah, Melanie, that's what Coach Taggart told us. These guys are tall and they can run really fast, and that should scare a lot of defenders. 3rd and 5. Flowers rolling, throwing across his body again. Touchdown! 7 more. Chris Barr with the reception. 6-yard touchdown, and Flowers is spreading the wealth tonight, Corey.
Yeah, this has to feel good because Chris Barr is a player that has had some problems with drops here in the past. And one of the things that Coach Taggart talked about was that Quentin Flowers has been very encouraging to players who've had issues with drops, including Rodney Adams.
Emilio Nettleman on for the extra point. It is good. 41-7, South Florida over Northern Illinois. 6 straight games with 35 points or more. That's the longest streak in school history. And what did they tell us last night when we met with him, Corey?
I heard 50. At least 40 points, though. But
TJ Weiss, the passing game coordinator, told us 40, and I think we encouraged him. And he said, well, maybe 50.
Right. No, you're right. It was only 40, but 500 yards, another goal that was thrown out. I mean, this is a team that believes it's only going to get better on the offensive end. And bringing in Weiss from Michigan, I think that was a big coup for this staff.
We're getting to the point, partner, where now when we look at it, it's 41-7. Granted, we're still in the 3rd quarter, but at what point does Coach Taggart think, let's set Flowers down for a bit? Because they go up to Syracuse next.
Right.
And they do have Florida State coming here on the 24th.
Yeah, and I think with Brett Keene as a player who threw 2 touchdown passes a week ago, it doesn't matter when you bring him in because the level of play, I actually like his release point even better than Flowers, doesn't fall off at all. And we heard that from the coaches.
Yeah, Coach Weiss, the passing game coordinator, told us last night that he thought that Keene would start for a lot of teams in the AAC.
And you can see it sometimes when he's back and how fluid he is.
Well, Ryan Graham will bring out NIU's offense as Chris Barr gets congratulations. Haven't happened that often for him, so he's soaking it all in.
It really is a big deal for him to score because it adds another weapon, because he's an electric player with a lot of change of direction. He's one of those players that tried to get involved early in the season last year against Florida State, against SMU. He made a wild catch, but he dropped the touchdown. Having him now score, that gives you 4 receivers to go along with 2 tight ends. A lot of weapons.
So as we noted, Drew Hare was taken away with an apparent injury. Ryan Graham now in the game at quarterback. Finds a receiver wide open. That's Kenny Golladay. Melody.
Well, Dwayne, Rodney Adams was dealing with a left calf cramp. It's 91 degrees down here. It's so humid, so they're trying to get some fluids in him. He just popped up after Marlon Mack came over and cracked a joke at him, but surprising that more guys aren't having the same problem in this heat.
You're right, Melody. Is very humid in this South Florida evening. Graham calling his own number left side. Pick up a couple. Corey, you know, to the layperson watching on television, when they hear you have a cramp, they wonder, well, I had a cramp. Why can't you just get up? You're a conditioned football player.
I think the difference is 20 pounds of equipment. I think a lot of people forget that that amount of equipment causes even more sweat than the normal person would even having a cramp.
So this is how you avoid the cramps. So you stave them off by getting on the bicycle. 2nd and 9, ball at the 37-yard line for Northern Illinois. Joel Bouagnon leaks over one defender, picks up a couple. You know, Boagnon's had a pretty good game.
He really has. I mean, we talked about it earlier. Here, they're pulling around, and a little bit of misdirection behind Lincoln Howard. And look at him just jump over Nichols. You want to go for my legs? I can leap as well.
6-yard pickup by the senior. Bouagnon once again. Not as much that time. 2-yard pickup.
And I go right back to it. It's 4th and short. I know if you're going to go for it, no reason to do anything different. The last 2 runs have been successful. And we saw them get away from it earlier, go to another play, and then they end up having to turn the ball over. And here we go again with the punt.
Rod Carey has elected to punt it away. We'll put the ball back in the hands of that potent South Florida offense. Bullwood back at his 20-yard line. Jake Ambrose on for his 8th punt. Ambrose gets a pretty good punt for Northern Illinois, but the Huskies have been a very successful program since 2010, Corey. I mean, they have made winning the standard in DeKalb.
Yeah, 2013, they beat Iowa 30-27. They beat Purdue 55-24. He was the MAC Coach of the Year back in 2013. And that was after they had gone to the Orange Bowl and lost to Florida State the year before. So, I mean, you think about after those 2 seasons, you come back with 11-3 season in 2014. There's a lot of pride and a lot of success, like what you're seeing in that graphic, but this team knows how to win.
Here's punter Jake Ambrose with a 47-yard punt. South Florida takes over at the 8-yard line, 1st and 10. Right side, keeping it on the ground. That's Darius Tice, who started the game at running back. For those of you who were not with us at the beginning, Marlon Mack, the all-conference running back, has been held out of the game. Coach's decision. He was under concussion protocol after a pretty rough hit last week against Towson State that took him out in the first half. But Darius Tice has been just fine this evening, rushing the ball with 68 yards on 13 carries. 2nd and 7. And there's a look at Mack. Whistles, flags. Let's hold everything. Tice is upset because he thinks he made it.
False start. Offense, number 1. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Well, that's our buddy, Chris Barr, who just had the big touchdown.
And you can see him right there. That didn't take much to locate for the referees. And I tell you what, they'll have a little argument between him and Tice in the film room because you just cost me. That was a great block up front by Cameron Ruff. It looked like he was maybe off to the races. You might as well score one for Barr for the Northern Illinois defense.
That was the first penalty of this half for either team. 2nd and 12 for South Florida at its own 6-yard line. 1:22 remaining in the third. Flowers calls his own number. He already has a career high tonight in passing, over 300 yards, 8-yard pickup. He's one of those quarterbacks who can really hurt you on the ground also. He wanted a face mask here, didn't he?
Like Sutton Smith came in and grabbed him right around the face mask, but he got away.
This time a flag comes in as Flowers keeps it.
That might be on Joe Sanders, number 9.
It's Tom Stapleton, the head of our officiating crew.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 6. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
That's Bobby Jones, the 4th. Things are going quite well for Willie Taggart's South Florida Bulls this evening.
Well, you see Threet pulling around, and actually I thought that Sanders may have gotten him first with the face mask, but I guess they called it on Jones, who got in on the tackle later.
On first down, it's Barr, swing pass. He has another first down and still on his feet before Michael Allen forces him out of bounds.
You can kind of see what I'm talking about. He's got some wiggle now.
There is a flag down around the 36-yard line.
It's going to be a hold on South Florida. It's probably on McCants, number 8. He tackled one of the Northern Illinois defensive backs.
Offense, number 8. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
You called it, partner. Suddenly, we had a great half going, third quarter, with no penalties. Now we've had 3.
Well, you had a lot of penalties in last week's game.
Warning, South Florida bench. That's their first no yardage is assessed.
Okay.
It was a warning to the South Florida bench.
There's been no drop-off in the intensity, I'll tell you that.
Flowers, time to throw. Hits a man wide open. That's Barr, who picks it all back up and then some to get the first down.
That was just a big over route. They played so much zone coverage. You'll see him come from into the screen here late. Perfect timing. You had number 49, Trayshawn Foster, the safety, fall down. That's the second time he's had a problem with his footing in today's game.
30-yard pickup. That's Flowers keeping it for the last play of the quarter.
That's the end of the third quarter.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. South Florida 41, NIU 7. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico.
Bud Light Party is for everyone. Men,
women,
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
We'll sell you a beer any day of the week. Allergy medicine not working? Try Nasacort for effective relief. It relieves the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion. It's non-addictive, scent and alcohol-free, and has no harsh taste. For 24-hour allergy relief, Nasacort.
When I used to fail over and over trying to invent things, everyone said I was crazy. Then I invented this Mamma Jamma. Just like this morning when I wanted chicken for breakfast, everyone said I was crazy again. Then I got the new Egg White Grill from Chick-fil-A. Let's review. Crazy? Not crazy. Crazy? Not crazy.
Chicken for breakfast. It's not as crazy as you think. Try the new Egg White Grill from Chick-fil-A.
There's more than one route to the top. The Lexus LS and LX.
each offering leading-edge comfort, safety, and performance technologies. The ultimate in refinement meets the ultimate in capability. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Can CM Punk fight?
He made himself a superstar in his field.
I left everything.
I'm gonna get to beat up a superstar. There's nothing to stop me from ripping him apart.
Can CM Punk fight? They want to prove that I don't belong here.
It's my sport. I will violently beat CM Punk.
People are always trying to test you. They don't know me. Can CM Punk fight? Absolutely.
Give me CM Punk, please!
It's gonna be a fight. You better believe it.
I joined because one of my mum's best friends met her husband on Match. My girlfriend met her new fiance.
The world has changed. 1 in 5 relationships now begin on an online dating site.
3 or 4 of my friends got married to people that they met on Match. Are you ready? Yeah. Here it goes.
My cousin met his wife on Match. My brother met his girl. I guess you could say Match runs in the family.
Match.com. More dates, more relationships, and more marriages than any other site.
I'm on Match for a reason. It just works.
Start for free today.
Are you one of over 26 million Americans with a tax problem? Are you being audited, or do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Well, listen closely, because the IRS has recently announced major changes to its tax forgiveness program. That's right. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes and are looking for a permanent solution and a firm you can trust, call Coast One Financial Group right now for your free confidential consultation. What are you waiting for?
Call 800-334-1197. That's 800-334-1197.
It has been all South Florida here this evening in Tampa. Dominant performance by the Bulls so far. And Willie Taggart's crew has shown you that they simply can hurt you in so many different ways.
They can, and I think it's a combination of great defense. I think their offense has been explosive as advertised, and the special teams, a little bit underrated how well they played on special teams tonight as well.
On the other side of the ball, you have to wonder if Drew Hare's injury is a defining moment that we will remember for this Northern Illinois season.
That's a valid question, because you wonder, no matter how much success they've had with Ryan Graham and spots, can he consistently do it week to week?
Northern Illinois with the ball as we commence this fourth quarter, 41-0. Quentin Flowers already a career high tonight in passing, hands it off. Liddell Fleming on the stop, 97 total points, a school record for the first 2 games for Willie Taggart's Bulls. And there is the sense, friends, we tell you that they are just beginning to scratch the surface of what they can do this year. 3rd and 3. Nicely defended by Albert Smalls. And a flag comes out. Maybe a little over-eagerness. It's Jawan Johnson, number 7.
Yeah, I guess you say that again.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, that's the slam. I mean, and that's the reason why the flag was thrown. I mean, it's an excellent play. He just got around the block of Mitchell Wilcox, and then the slam and the combination. But you actually need more of this from Northern Illinois. Not the flag, not the jubilation over the player you just tackled, but more energy on the defensive end and more explosive plays like that.
Well, the net result is a 1st and 10 for South Florida, NIU 24. And they get more up the middle with Tice.
But what I've noticed so far this season and watching Northern Illinois play, they don't have the player out there. You see it on spots, like we just saw, but not consistent.
9-yard pickup.
And what I mean by that, Dwayne, is Juwan Johnson that play, an unfortunate foul. Saw Michael Allen last week make some of those energy plays. Liddell Fleming. You've got to make energy plays to pick up the pace.
First down. This is Rice into the end zone. Touchdown. One more for South Florida. Darius Tice, the senior from Miami Northwestern, got the start, and he has delivered this evening. His number 13. Now, you know the story behind that. In high school, he was 31 here. He was nicknamed Friday the 13th in high school, so he switched his number back here to 13 for Friday the 13th. I'm not sure about... I'm not sure why he did that, but he did.
It's a good nickname, though.
Extra point coming from Nettleman. (48-7), South Florida over Northern Illinois. And the wheels appear to be coming off for Rod Carey and his Huskies. Darius Tice does it on the ground. 11-yard run.
We've streamlined shipping and improved our e-commerce with the tools on FedEx Small Business Center. It's really helped us become more efficient.
Sweet.
Unlike this new open floor plan.
What do you mean?
Well, there's no privacy anymore.
How many times a day do I apply the ointment?
Nowhere to have a meeting. And it's just... too loud to concentrate.
Well, good job using FedEx. At least we're all in this together, right?
Make your e-commerce more efficient with FedEx.
There's no one road out there. No one surface. No one speed. No one way of driving on each and every road. But there is one car that can conquer them all. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class. 5 driving modes let you customize the steering, shift points, and suspension to fit the mood you're in and the road you're on. The 2016 C-Class, starting at $38,950. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Becca doesn't know soda breaks down tooth enamel. Thankfully, she uses ACT Restoring Mouthwash with fluoride. It restores minerals to enamel for 40% stronger teeth. ACT. Smile strong. And try new alcohol-free ACT Restoring Mint Burst for strong teeth and refreshingly fresh breath.
Bud Light Party is for everyone. Men,
Women.
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
We'll sell you a beer any day of the week.
Red 97! Set! Red 97!
Did you say 97?
Yes.
You know, that reminds me of Geico's 97% customer satisfaction rating.
97%?
Helped by Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Oh yeah, baby. Geico's as fast and friendly as it gets.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
South Florida in command, 48-7 over Northern Illinois. Time now for the Servpro play of the game, Corey. And there have been a lot of big ones, but we had to pick one.
And Machine Bronson really just runs by Anthony Brooks. And the ball laid in the air, 52 yards perfectly. The second straight week, we've seen a 50-plus yard throw in the air on the money. Saw it last week from Flowers to Valdez-Scantling for a touchdown, and now we're seeing it here again. His ability to push the ball down the field to these speedy receivers is going to make people respect the outside lanes when you play South Florida. You got to be careful if you're going to go up and press these wide receivers.
Well, it's like you said at the beginning of the telecast, partner. This is a fast break offense.
It really is. And it's all about scoring quickly, getting the ball back and scoring again. And if they can get your offense off the field, it just allows their fast break offense of their own to stay moving.
Nettleman's kickoff is fielded by Turner, and he takes a knee. Let's get to Brent Stover in New York. Update on a couple of games.
Indeed, Josh Dobbs, the 5-yard touchdown run, 24 unanswered for Tennessee in the second. They lead Va-Tech 24-14 at halftime. And TCU gets Kenny Hill into the end zone. They now trail Arkansas 20-14 in the fourth quarter, guys.
Thanks, Brent. So TCU is behind, trying to get back into it. And Tennessee has taken a little control over Virginia Tech.
I think it had to be good for Tennessee coming off last week's game to have a big game. I think that's something that will get your emotions riled back up, easier to motivate your team.
NIU from the 25, Graham, short pass out to Turner. Doesn't find much room to operate there.
Now we're getting into the depth chart. That was Nate Ferguson.
Nate Ferguson, one of those strikers in Raymond Woody's defensive unit. 2-yard pickup.
The reason I mentioned him, though, I thought he had a pretty good game last week. Nearly had an interception, and he's been kind of fighting for more playing time.
Graham looking at a 2nd and 9. There's Golladay on that jet sweep that worked so well last week against Wyoming. He picks up 4 yards. But Golladay can be such a major component in their offense, and he just has been neutralized this evening by South Florida.
Well, I think it's the team speed of South Florida. I think you'd want him more on the outside lanes. I haven't seen any jump balls outside to him. I thought that would be the route they would go with him tonight, but instead they've tried some different things.
3rd down. Flags down near the line of scrimmage. Graham drops it off, gets it to Huff, but let's wait and see what Tom Stapleton has to say.
Looked like an offsides on number 55, Josh Black.
Offside. Defense, number 55. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Just mistimed it, but smart play by Graham, taking advantage of the free play. They've got to try to get something going here in this 4th quarter for next week. This is about building for the next game. So you got to get some type of offensive continuity going with Graham.
And their next game is San Diego State, their home opener. Not an easy task. That will be on CBS Sports Network as well. Graham connects with Christian Blake. If you're just joining us and wondering why you see number 17 out there quarterbacking for Northern Illinois, Drew Hare suffered an injury, and he has been taken away on a cart, and we hazard to speculate, but it did not look good.
No, it didn't, but you mentioned the San Diego State game, and that's going to be a tough game.
Trying to keep it on the ground. Huff again. He and Bouagnon have traded off in the offensive backfield for Northern Illinois this evening. 2-yard pickup. Huff now has 37 yards rushing on 11 carries.
And that's why it's important right here on this 3rd and 9. Where are you going to go? You're going to be in some of these situations next week against a tough Aztec defense.
Graham, time to throw. He and Golladay miscommunicated, but the flags come down, so this may end up benefiting them.
That's going to be on Jalen Spencer with a pass interference, number 30. And he just tackled Golladay on the edge.
You never did that, did you?
Oh, I did. Sometimes you get a little frustrated.
Pass interference. Defense, number 30. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And he knew it.
Boy, what a difference 7 days make. Last week, 226 all-purpose yards for Kenny Golladay. Tonight, just 48.
And next week, you may be going against the best cornerback in the country at DeMonte Casey right here on CBS Sports Network. So we'll see how he does in the comeback.
1st and 10 for Ryan Graham and the NIU offense, 45-yard line of South Florida, and the Huskies really could use something here. Huff, right side, still on his feet. First down and wrestled out of bounds.
And you like Huff. All week long, you were wondering why. And he averaged almost 8 yards a carry a year ago. You see the burst. I like his work on special teams. He's a good football player. He's a guy that can build around this offense.
Well, he has 11 yards now, 11 11-yard pickup, 47 yards on the ground for him so far this evening. But Bouagnon also is an outstanding running back. So they've got two really good ones. I think their offensive line has to answer some questions. Ball is tipped, could have been intercepted. And there is a flag near the 40-yard line. For Ryan Graham, Corey, just to kind of step into this, and all this is happening so fast with the speed of South Florida, this can't be easy.
Not at all.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Let's see, that was on Josh Black again. We talked about him earlier, and he kind of came across the back of Graham. They can't afford to lose him, but you make what you just talked about is not easy. But it's not going to be any easier next week when you're going against that arguably one of the best defenses again in the Mountain West and on the West Coast. So this is a good experience for him because even their backups, USF, have a lot of speed.
But at least next week, he will have had a week of working with the ones.
No doubt. That makes a huge difference.
1st and 10 for Northern Illinois. This is Turner with flair, spins away from the tackler and is out of bounds, picking up a first down. We're very close to it. Little jawing going on down there. The energy hasn't left the facility, has it?
Turner plays with a little bit of an edge. When you watch him return kicks, he's only 172 pounds, but he picks his legs up through traffic, a little stronger than you think, and you saw it on that last play.
Ball now at the 20-yard, 10-yard line. That's Turner. He will battle his way close to the end zone. Did he get in? Awaiting the signal. You're right, he's tough.
Yeah, he really is.
So it is ruled a touchdown.
And we always talk about leadership. And some good blocks on the edge. And definitely want to give credit to number 4, Christian Blake, and the effort by Shane Wyman getting out, making a block. But when you want a team to have a personality, plays like that carry over into the next week's game, because when you watch the film, everybody knows the score was 48-7, and he's trying to run over people and get in the end zone.
11-yard score. Christian Hagan on for the extra point. His holder is the punter, Jake Ambrose. So the Northern Illinois Huskies get into double digits, courtesy Argale's Turner. 11-yard score. Number 22, 48-14.
Americans don't celebrate the good enough canyon. We didn't aim to be second to the moon. Verizon doesn't settle for good enough either. So now we're introducing Verizon LTE Advanced, with 50% faster peak speeds in more than 450 cities coast to coast. So don't settle for an unlimited plan with limits. Switch now and get our best deal. 20 gigs of limitless data with 4 lines for only $160. Welcome to the Next Gen network.
No 2 allergy days feel the same. With Nasacort, even on your worst days, relief can be yours. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your nasal allergy symptoms, Nasacort stops more for effective relief. Nasacort, guaranteed or your money back.
Bud Light Party is for everyone. Men,
Women,
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
we'll sell you a beer any day of the week.
Copy that. Shaking drone status now.
Around the world, around the clock, in defense of all we hold dear back home. Learn more at Navy.com.
The average age of a homeless person is 9 years old. My dream is to help kids living on the streets with education.
Charles, what's up, buddy?
Why we help? Oh, man.
Is that a basketball?
Yes. Why? How you doing? My heart about to jump off my chest, man.
Charles, you ought to be proud, man.
I'm just extremely grateful they were here, giving them some encouragement. That's something that these kids are going to remember for a lifetime.
Don't you see his big old feet?
48-14, South Florida up on Northern Illinois, but I don't care. If I was playing a pickup football game, I'm picking him. Argyros Turner, 172 pounds against Cecil Cherry, 240, a 68-pound difference. And you talk about heart and want to, forget about the score. If you're going to play a pickup football game, flag or whatever, you want to pick him.
I suspect that Cecil Cherry will hear it this week when they're watching film.
He's got to.
You let who run over you?
And this is a tough player. It's something about him. He's one of those players, again, he's going to be a centerpiece for this team any week.
He's a senior from Akron, a sociology major, is Argyros Turner. Kickoff fielded in the end zone. South Florida will take it at the 25-yard line. Coming up next, college football continues right here on CBS Sports Network with late-night action from the West Coast as the California Golden Bears travel to take on the San Diego State Aztecs right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And you will get an opportunity to see Davis Webb in that game.
We're going to learn a lot about Davis Webb. So we got a little stoppage here, Dwayne.
Correction. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike. Receiving team, number 33. Half the distance to the goal from the touchback. First down.
I know what you're about to say.
First unsportsmanlike foul of the game.
Now that's interesting because it's Cecil Cherry who was just bulldozed by little Argyros Turner.
Hey.
So what was he trying to prove?
I think the frustration, we saw it. And if we saw it up here, you got to be frustrated if you're on the other end of a tackle that you can't get done against a 170-pounder, no matter how tough he is. And it boiled over into that kickoff return.
Well, Willie Taggart's trying to plead his case for Cherry, but to no avail.
It's funny you mentioned that, though, because I guarantee you that's happened to me before. Where you
and how long did you hear about it?
Oh, I heard about it. I've heard about it a lot. And then, and then you know what? I went out and got a penalty shortly thereafter. So I know what Cherry's feeling right now, and it's tough.
Total offensive yards dwarfed 572 to 267. Yards per play 8.2, 4.0. South Florida just dominating Northern Illinois categorically and on the scoreboard. Bulls keep it on the ground as we approach the 10-minute mark in the fourth quarter. That is Darius Tice, who is approaching 100 yards rushing, 4-yard pickup. That should give him a new career high. Previous was 94. That should put him at 96. Tice into the secondary, still on his feet, bowls over a defender before Michael Allen drags him down. Let's check in with Britt Stogler again in New York. More TCU.
Yeah, TCU. Look at this return on the punt by Cavante Turpin. He's down, right? One of his knees has got to be down, but it's not. A 34-yard punt return for Turpin, who's over 200 all-purpose yards. And 2 plays later, touchdown run, Kyle Hicks. TCU in front by 1.
Thanks, Brent. Well, TCU has finally climbed over the mountain in this one, Corey.
Turpin can run, too.
14 straight wins at home, 3rd longest streak in FBS for the Horned Frogs. Here, the South Florida Bulls are pretty much doing whatever they want to do right now.
A lot of different players in the lineup, and it's a kid they had high hopes for a couple of years back, Jordan Reed. He got a lot of playing time last year in some spots, and now getting an opportunity to try to earn some more right here. To your point, though, a little surprise Flowers still in the game.
8:35 mark. He already has a career high in passing, and the game is well in control.
That's a quarterback draw for me. Whoa.
He throws it out of bounds. Was he throwing it to Sean King?
Hey, but and that has to be frustrating. If there's one negative for him that comes out of the game, and we're going to see. I mean, this ball goes way over here. And that's something that we've seen either low. It has something to do with the release. I'm sure Sean King and his staff is going to work with that. You can see the frustration from Flowers. What a game, though. You have this many mistakes in a career-high game. Those things come back to bite you later on, man.
Maybe we'll see Brett Keane on the next offensive possession. Hernandez with the punt. It is fielded at the 20. Fair catch is called. And that's where Ryan Graham in Northern Illinois will take over with a big mountain to climb.
I'm free like a bird. Whether not morning till we all want to be as free as the birds. I know one day. But maybe the birds want to be as free as us. Introducing the newest member of the family, the Fiat 124 Spider. 'Cause I'm free like a bird. More fun than flying. Whether not morning till.
At Northrop Grumman, we've been developing new ways to execute the mission. What once was seen now stays undetected. Where alarms were once raised, now there's silence. With our full-spectrum cyber capabilities, our military can eliminate enemy threats at the push of a button. That's the value of performance. Northrop Grumman.
Allergy medicine not working? Try Nasacort for effective relief. It relieves the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion. It's non-addictive, scent and alcohol-free, and has no harsh taste. For 24-hour allergy relief, Nasacort.
Bud Light Party is for everyone. Men,
Women.
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
We'll sell you a beer any day of the week.
From residential to commercial, from large loss to emergency response. Whenever damage strikes, call on the cleanup team that's faster to any size disaster at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
You're watching CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. By Bud Light. Raise one to right now. And by Allegra Gel Caps. Not just fast, Allegra Fast. Starts working in 1 hour. Use as directed.
South Florida in command over Northern Illinois, 48-14 here in Tampa, along with Corey Chavis, Melanie Collins, I'm Dwayne Bell, and our entire CBS Sports crew here. And Willie Taggart, the captain for South Florida. Melanie has a very close relationship with Jim Harbaugh and his family, doesn't he? We'll check in with Melanie right after this play. Ryan Graham looking up top, gets Christian Blake. That's a first down. Melanie.
Thanks, Dwayne. Well, we talked with Coach Taggart a lot yesterday about his relationship with Harbaugh. You get the feeling these two are close, and there's so much respect there. I asked Coach Taggart what the biggest takeaway was from his time with Coach Harbaugh, and he said there's so many things, but the biggest was to never fear anyone. He said we all thought he was crazy as coaches. He would look at Pete Carroll and USC and say, we bow down to no man and no program, and he eventually changed everyone's attitude at Stanford because he says we went down there in 2007 as 41-point underdogs, and we won. And he said it was just the miracle of believing. You talk things into existence, and everyone believed they could win.
You're right, Melanie. He was on Stanford's staff under Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh recruited him to play for Jim's dad, Jack Harbaugh, at Western Kentucky, where Coach Taggart was an All-America quarterback, won a national title, holds 11 records there still. As Ryan Graham keeps it on the ground from Northern Illinois. And Corey, you know, it's very evident that the Harbaugh family, Jim, John, Jack, they all mean a lot to Willie Taggart.
They do, and the first time that I had a chance to go to Western Kentucky, it was the night that they were actually honoring his college coach, Jack Harbaugh, at the stadium. And you could see how close they were when we had a chance to all talk.
Graham going to the air, looking long. It is nearly picked off. And to kind of put a button on the Harbaugh-Taggart storyline, Jim Harbaugh was the best man at Willie Taggart's wedding.
Wow. I think that says enough, you know, and that tells you a lot about the respect beyond just being friends.
And we asked Willie Taggart if Michigan would be playing South Florida anytime soon. He said, nah, Jim doesn't want to make that happen now. Maybe 2 years ago he would have.
Right.
Michigan beating UCF today. Big win, but there'll be no USF on that schedule. We talked about Taggart loved Harbaugh having the satellite camp here, but again, the jersey, Corey.
I was hoping maybe he would have a Western Kentucky Willie Taggart jersey on. I mean, you got to go back to the Western Kentucky Hilltopper days when he was getting off.
Coach Taggart said he was excited because the day before Harbaugh had on a Hank Aaron jersey, so he felt he was in great company. Northern Illinois now to punt it away. Fair pitch made at the 22-yard line. 7:10 remaining here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Willie Taggart is all smiles.
Want to know what makes us, us? By the time other people start doing what we've been doing, we've already moved on.
The Lexus GS 350 F Sport, with better overall handling performance than the BMW 535i M Sport.
How fast are Allegra gel caps?
Party's moved outside fast.
What a nice surprise, fast.
For allergy symptoms, Allegra is the fastest non-drowsy relief you can buy.
I'm not missing the hayride fast.
Allegra gel caps, not just fast, Allegra fast, guaranteed or your money back.
Bud Light Party is for everyone, men,
Women.
people of all genders. We don't care. We'll sell you beer.
We'll sell you a beer any day of the week.
Mom, Dad,
Son?
now that FedEx has streamlined our e-commerce and helped us grow our business, I think it's time we start acting like a business.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, look at this.
Okay, so number one, no personal items are permitted in the workplace. So those will need to come down. We'll be doing some mandatory testing, and there's also a strict no dating policy.
But honey, we're married.
That's gonna be a problem.
Grow your business with the online shipping tools from FedEx.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper here! You know, as long as I've been in college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper. And I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Good story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper here. High five. I invented that, too.
48-14, there's going to be a new quarterback for South Florida. Brent Keene, redshirt freshman from Lakewood, Ohio, threw 2 touchdown passes last week against Towson, and they are very high on his ability and what he can do. First down, man in motion. Keene hands it off. This is Dearness Johnson, who's now in for Darius Tice. And Mr. Flowers will take a seat as he consults with Sean King. 350 yards, a career high for him, 21 of 33, 4 TDs, and ran for 53 yards. Keep it on the ground to Johnson.
Important to remember those numbers come against a secondary that had 22 interceptions a season ago.
Sean Folliard on the stop there, 1-yard pickup. Third and 4 from their own 28. Bowles operating with control of the game. That's good enough for a first down. So Keene completes his first pass of this game to Johnson. So Corey, and you've got 6:07 remaining. So what is it Willie Taggart is looking to see Brett Keene do?
Well, he just wants them to run the offense and do the same things. If you could tell, and we'll get into it after this play.
Johnson basically goes nowhere.
Good play by Johnson. But the thing he's trying to do is, if we have a replacement and you come in the game, will the offense run as efficiently? Now, you've got some backup offensive linemen in there. Michael Smith's in the game now. Marcus Norman has moved over to left tackle. So you're having some different pieces up front, but he still wants to execute the screen game and even some of the stuff in their run game.
Keene finds Johnson to the 40-yard line. And that will set up a manageable 3rd down.
He's got a much tighter release. You can see that he's the ball gets out of his hand a little bit quicker than even Flowers.
Keene through the air again. Incomplete pass. A little frustrated with himself. Brings out the punting unit. You like to see that in a young man, don't you? You want him to want to go out there and not be happy despite the score.
You can't look at the scoreboard. That's the one thing you don't want on either side, the scoreboard watchers. You have to be excited for a player that's coming off a positive performance and he's frustrated by the poor pass like that.
Ezra Safford back to receive the punt for Northern Illinois. We'll take a Northern Illinois bounce. Let's go back to Bryn in New York. More on TCU.
It's not over. TCU's still rolling here. A touchdown for Kenny Hill. It's 28-20. They lead Arkansas, but the Hogs, with 1:24 remaining, have it inside the TCU 30. Stay tuned, guys. It's not over yet.
Wow, Brent, we've got a ball game there. Arkansas not giving up.
Arkansas, you know that after that loss last year to Texas Tech, they don't want to have another loss to a Big 12 team.
Ryan Graham now on for the injured Drew Hare. Gales Turner in motion. Looking for Kenny Golladay. Threw it slightly behind him.
Get that ball out in front, you might have a chance for him to, again, the confidence building for next week. That would have been an opportunity. And like you mentioned earlier, the reps during the week of practice will help going into next week's game.
2nd and 10 from the 32. That's Turner. He's had an outstanding game. Corey, how difficult is it for a team when you have put so much energy into having a guy like Drew Hare back as your leader, and suddenly he's gone just 2 weeks into the season?
It takes a lot out of your team, and mentally you need the offensive lineman that has some leaders up front. And I'm talking about Levon Myers, their left tackle. He's going to have to take the onus of leadership.
3rd and 3. Graham throws it low. And things like that are the things that will be worked out in the subsequent week.
But I guess you're right. But I think the big key for Graham is getting the control of the accuracy period. And only completed about just under 54% of his passes a year ago. A lot of it comes down to those possession throws. So many young quarterbacks, we saw it on the last drive with Keene, have a problem getting their feet underneath themselves on those possession throws.
Hassan Childs back to receive the punt from Ambrose. Calls for a fair catch. Fumbles the ball. And Northern Illinois recovers. Juwan Johnson.
And give credit to Johnson. He's been active all night from East St. Louis, Illinois. And I liked him last year against Ohio State. He had 5 tackles. And I liked some of the energy he had last week.
That's the first turnover of the game.
Good to see a young man who's only a sophomore, playing hard, playing through the whistle. You end up getting a fumble recovery and putting your team in good position to score.
Well, Childs has an opportunity to atone. He is out on the field. Graham keeping it right up the middle. Daniel Golladay on the tackle. 3-yard pickup. Graham again. First down. Battles his way down to the 10-yard line, but do you really want Ryan Graham running that much when you're not certain about Drew Hare?
Well, that's valid, but I think with their offense, the quarterback draw is a part of it, and you're going to have your quarterback run it.
12-yard pickup. Argale's Turner. He's been deadly on that play. Gets it inside of the 5-yard line.
We've seen that from both teams. That played extended bunch, and you throw the screen outside, and it's basically a run. And that's what both teams do quite a bit of to get their players in space.
6-yard pickup. So as you think about it, now this South Florida team, it's clear there are some offensive opportunities with this unit. So Willie Taggart knows that he has a squad that can do some things this year. So when you start thinking about it, Syracuse next week, but Florida State comes here on September 24th. And you've got Cincinnati, and East Carolina on the schedule. Graham, time to throw. He launches it towards the end zone. He was looking for Jordan Huff. Nothing doing.
Good play by Johnny Ward, who's been a starter here in the past. And now we talked to the coaches about being relegated to a backup role or having to switch in and out. And these guys have been content with fighting for playing time, and he makes a good play.
Before that schedule, Corey, it's very interesting as Hagan comes on for a field goal attempt. 22 yards. (48-14). Now it's 48-17. For those of you tuning in for the California-San Diego State game, you will be able to find that online at cbssports.com/live as soon as it kicks off. And of course, we'll get you out there immediately after the conclusion of this game, which is not going well at all for Rod Carey. His team looking at its first 0-2 start since 2012. And he has to be wondering about Drew Hare. That completely changes the complexion of the balance of this season if they don't have him.
I think it does. I think you have to look at it from a perspective of he was a senior and what he brought to the table in terms of what you could do maybe offensively. A little bit different with Graham in the game. You're only going to be able to maybe run half of that.
And this is what's facing the Huskies the rest of the season. With or without Hare, they have to play a schedule that includes San Diego State next week, a Central Michigan team, Western Michigan, Central Michigan that beat Oklahoma State. One of the most exciting plays you will see. 0-2 start. Corey, it could be tough sledding.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of games on this schedule that I will point to as games that are going to be tough. You mentioned the Central Michigan. I think Western Michigan is another game. Certainly this game next week with San Diego State is one to keep an eye on. And as you get deeper into the schedule, Bowling Green is always a team that could present some problems. So there are some winnable games on that schedule, but in Toledo, I didn't mention Toledo. That's another team with Kareem Hunt that could be a problem.
Here's a timeout on the field. As Rod Carey and Willie Taggart will consult with their respective teams. And for South Florida, it's, you know, this is what they wanted.
It is. And
the California at San Diego State game is underway and now available at cbssports.com/live. We'll get you out there as soon as this one is over. This is what South Florida has now after this 2-0 start. We mentioned Florida State and Syracuse, so they go double dipping into the ACC.
And that road game against Syracuse will be interesting because Eric Dungy can throw the football. He proved that last night against Louisville and Lamar Jackson. But Florida State is if they can get by Syracuse and come into that game 3-0, a lot of Florida State fans are overlooking them and talking about this Louisville matchup. But you got to come right back and play USF. So interesting to see how that goes. And then down the road, I believe if they can get past these two games, well, I missed it, the Temple and Navy games, they'll be in good shape.
Well, it'll be very interesting for South Florida. By the way, do you have Lamar Jackson at the top of your Heisman list already?
Yes.
Of Louisville?
With a capital Y. It ended with a capital S. I mean, he's been Superman. We were watching it last night when we were ordering food. Every time we looked up, he scored another touchdown.
School record 620 yards of total offense, and they add to it. Let's check back in with Brent Stover in New York.
All right, Dwayne, it's underway. Cal goes on offense first as Davis Webb on the field overthrows his intended target. Cal, San Diego State, CBSSports.com/live. You can watch it right now. We'll get you out there when you guys are done.
And we are getting closer and closer. Brent, Dearness Johnson has the carry there. Darius Tice, who got the start. Boy, did he deliver a career-high 120 yards rushing, 120 yards and 19 carries. Not bad. They told us last night that they felt very comfortable without Marlon Mack tonight with Tice. Keene going deep. Just over the outstretched arms of his intended receiver. Dietrich Nichols. That's Darnell Salmon. Excuse me, Darnell Salmon.
That was a pretty good throw. I think. I mean, you go back. I mean, you talk about ball placement. I mean, that ball was. I mean, one more step, and that would have been ideal. Excellent placement by Keene.
2nd and 10 from midfield. We are under the 2-minute mark in regulation. Still on his feet and getting more is Dearness Johnson. Antonio Jones-Davis on the tackle, pick up a 4. Well, this South Florida team may be one that the nation might have to reckon with before it's all over this season. Pick up by Johnson for the first down on the reception.
And they're running their offense. Still running the screens outside, going empty, throwing it to Johnson on the perimeter, taking shots down the field.
Keep it on the ground again. Johnson barreling his way upfield. The California San Diego State game is underway and now available at CBSSports.com/live. We will get you out there as soon as this one is over. 1-minute mark. Oh, Juwan Johnson sniffed that one out. Didn't have enough of that this evening for Northern Illinois.
He had a pretty good game, though. A few players that really flashed on this defense. And isn't it amazing? It's 33 seconds to go. They're still running this offense. They're in the gun in a trips formation with a stack look.
Well, when you run a fast break offense, as you noted, you run your offense.
Yeah, and boy, has it been fast break tonight. Those spurts of scoring, what you have to deal with if you're going to play USF.
First 2-0 start since 2012. Willie Taggart is very comfortable with his team this year. Once again, our final score is 48-17 Southern Florida. For Corey Chavis, Melanie Collins, and our entire CBS crew, I'm Dwayne Ballin. Let's send it to Carter Blackman and crew at San Diego State.
Late night in San Diego. It's the California Golden Bears from the Pac-12 and the San Diego State Aztecs from the Mountain West Conference, riding an 11-game winning streak in what has the makings of a really good one to wrap up a wacky college football Saturday. Carter Blackburn, Aaron Taylor, Jenny Dell, And what has, until the last play, been an almost perfect start for San Diego State.
They lost a couple yards on that rush. You take a look at the safeties for the Cal Bears defense. They're within 10, 12 yards of the line of scrimmage. They're very active to stop this run game. The Aztecs got to take some shots over the top.
And here's Chapman, flushed out of the pocket, sacked back at the 48, which is where this drive started for San Diego State after Cal went 3 and out. Devontae Wilson gets the sack.
Yeah, he's working over Quade Miller off that left side. Just beats him around the edge. As an offensive lineman, you have to do a good job punching. He drops his head a little bit, and Wilson just rips underneath him, gets around the short corner, getting Chapman down to the ground.
So back to 3rd and 20.
Prior to the ball coming loose, the previous play is under further review.
All right, so we have had 8 plays from scrimmage, a combined +1 yard of offense between Cal and San Diego State. 2 contrasting styles between the Golden Bears and the Aztecs.
San Diego State, Carter uses tight ends and fullbacks, and those are big people. And we haven't seen a lot of that in college football, but it's kind of a throwback and a nod to the fact that football is still a game of blocking and tackling. It marries up perfectly with Rocky Long's 3-3-5, very aggressive style on defense. He's a defensive-minded coach, and that's how he wants to win ball games. And on the other side of the ball, you have the Cal Bears and that Bear Raid led by Sonny Dykes, where the point of that is to run as many plays as you can to stretch the field, put the football in the athlete's hands out in space, let them make people miss in space, and take advantage of it. It's very hard to defend. It does a good job, and Sonny Dykes has been as good as anybody in the country running that offense.
Meanwhile, this replay review.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. 3rd down.
No fumble, ruled down, and now you have 3rd and very long. So Sonny Dykes, when he was 8 years old, his dad Spike Dykes became the defensive coordinator at New Mexico, and his linebacker coach was Rocky Long. So that's how far back Sonny Dykes and Rocky Long go. Now in his 4th season as the Cal head coach. Has a fast tempo, big chunk yardage offense. 3rd and long, here's a draw. It's Donnell Pumphrey. Pumphrey goes sprinting inside the 40, shoved out at the 30-yard line. On 4th and 20, Pumphrey picks up 18 to make it 4th and 2 from the Cal 30.
That's what makes Donnell Pumphrey so exciting, is his acceleration and burst and speed, setting his blocks up perfectly. I would expect San Diego State to try to get the football into his hands. They've certainly done it early, and throughout the night they will do it often. First big decision for Rocky Long here on 4th down.
Now they're going to mark it back at the 32, so make that a 16-yard run. Looked like Pumphrey was down to 30.
Timeout. San Diego State. This is their first charge timeout. Media timeout.
For those of you watching on CBSSports.com, our streaming will continue after the commercial break. You can find CBS Sports Network by going to CBSSportsNetwork.com/channel finder.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper. Yeah. You know, as long as it's been college football, there's been Dr. Pepper flowing through the stands. Hey, man, dig this. I threw the first Hail Mary pass. Yeah, out of sight. Hey, fellas, I think there should be a college football playoff. Huh? Settle on the gridiron. You know, nothing goes better in the stands than Dr. Pepper. And I should know because I invented college football. The whole thing. Whoop, whoop. And that's how Dr. Pepper became a college football tradition.
Good story, bro.
It's a great story. Let's go, Dr. Pepper, here. High five. I meant that too.
Amongst the ruins of our fallen world lie riches beyond belief. Wealth, respect, glory, power. yours for the taking. Dungeon Hunter 5. Download now for free.
Planning for retirement? Quick. What's your most valuable asset? No, not these. It's time. Because over time, you could achieve remarkable growth. So don't waste another minute. Go to personalcapital.com now for the most sophisticated retirement calculator available. A dashboard that shows you all your accounts in one place. Income, spending, investments, net worth, all in real time. You'll also get these free tools. Join for free at personalcapital.com.
Away. Away is the smell of victory. And the smell of burgers. Away is always having home field advantage, even when you're miles away from home. Find your away for a dealer in the RV that's right for you. Visit GoRVing.com.
The 11-game winning streak, second longest in college football, on the line for San Diego State against the California Golden Bears. Carter Blackburn, Aaron Taylor, Ginny Dell. So really good start for San Diego State. Now you got fourth down in California territory.
And this is what San Diego State wants. They want to be physical at the line of scrimmage. This is the first big decision for Rocky Long. They want to be able to control the line of scrimmage. Well, we've already seen a sack by Cal early on against one of the better players up there. This could be a tone setter for this offense. And remember, Christian Chapman is pretty mobile with his legs. Jeff Horton, the offensive coordinator, might want to keep him alive on this one.
Chapman under center to throw. Chapman, deep shot for Pumphrey in the end zone. It's incomplete. Contact from the safety, Evan Rambo, but no flag on 4th and 4. The Aztecs go for it all on the wheel route to Pumphrey.
I don't know if I like this play call. With this offense and what they like to do at the line of scrimmage, you certainly like a one-on-one matchup with Donnell Pumphrey against anybody. But if you're San Diego State, let those big dogs hunt up front. Now their defense is back on the field with a quarterback, Davis Webb, who can chuck this thing.
Webb pressured, steps up, flings it complete. Hansen has the grab. Let's head back to the studio and check in with Brent.
A thriller in Fort Worth, end of regulation. Arkansas TCU. Ryan Graff has his field goal blocked by Dan Skipper. So we go to overtime. First possession of OT. Jeremy Sprinkle, 19 yards from Austin Allen. The Hogs lead 35-28, guys.
Wow. So Skipper, the special teams star, does it again for Arkansas. And here in San Diego, Kalfani Muhammad with his first touch. Senior from Inglewood. Jake Spavital's California Golden Bear offense hurrying up all game long. Muhammad, and he is drilled as soon as he touches it. Now Muhammad dropped by Cameron Kelly. Let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A starting lineups for the California Golden Bears. And Davis Webb, the graduate transfer from Texas Tech, who put up monster numbers in his time as a Red Raider. And in one game with the California Golden Bears, those aren't bad numbers either. On second down, Webb incomplete. The San Diego State defense continues to put pressure on. Barrett puts the pressure, Smith in coverage. So there's the California starting offense, and a lot of pressure on that offensive line, AT.
Yeah, there is. San Diego State lights the blitz, and they dial their blitz up here on third down. Keep an eye on Davis Webb, particularly his feet under pressure. He's going to have to get rid of this ball quickly, and that means they need good, tight coverage out of the Aztec backfield.
Here comes the pressure, low snap. Flag is down as Webb sends it downfield complete. Wide open, Beasy inside the 5, and now we go back to the flag to see if this 54-yard completion will stand.
Carter, looks like it's going to be a hold on Patrick McCary.
Holding, offense, number 79. That's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still third down.
Right after we talked about the offensive line, the pressure that the Aztecs put on you.
They bring heat early and often. The left tackle just oversets and opens up the inside and rides his defender to the ground. The center judge is all over that. The snap was low, so that threw the timing off of this play. But once again, the Aztecs getting very lucky that they didn't get beat up over the top, because there was some confusion there in the backfield. That offensive staff for the Bears is going to mark that play down. They'll come back to that probably sooner than later.
Hare, who's called for that penalty, is starting in place of the injured Aaron Cochran at left tackle. Webb, third and long, check down. That is complete, but a nice open field tackle by Naeem McGee, bringing down Bug Rivera. And so Cal will punt again. 2 possessions for Davis Webb and the California Golden Bear offense, both punts.
And the Aztecs got very lucky. Cal, sooner or later, is going to find a way to poke some holes in this defense. We've seen 2 deep passes that have gotten behind the safeties for the Aztecs. But unfortunately, they've had some penalties that have nullified them. But the Aztecs got to get that defensive coverage in the back end sorted out.
Truxton had a 27-yard return last time he touched it. Turns the corner here, and Truxton with another solid return as he gets to the 37-yard line. 21-yard return. A fun one late night in San Diego.
Around the world, around the clock, in defense of all we hold dear back home. Learn more at Navy.com.
This is me living with back pain. And this is me treating back pain with Icy Hot Smart Relief.
Smart Relief from Icy Hot starts blocking pain immediately at the nerve level.
I'm so jealous of me right now. Turn off pain with Icy Hot Smart Relief.
I see.
Check out 2 great sales going on now at Bass Pro Shops, with savings like Redhead men's jeans starting at under $20, Redhead men's and ladies Everest hikers for under $20, and this electric smoker by Masterbuilt for under $165 after rebate.
I joined because one of my mom's best friends met her husband on Match. My girlfriend met her new fiance.
The world has changed. 1 in 5 relationships now begin on an online dating site.
3 or 4 of my friends got married to people that they met on Match. Are you ready? Okay. Here it goes.
My cousin met his wife on Match. My brother met his girl. I guess you could say Match runs in the family.
Match.com. More dates, more relationships, and more marriages than any other site.
I'm on Match for a reason. It just works.
Start for free today.
We're testing Hanes underwear with X-Temp technology.
Yep.
Just gonna play it.
Wedge?
Yep.
It speeds evaporation to help keep you cool and dry. Hanes X-Temp technology. When you're cool, you're comfortable.
Attention. Parents of boys who took the drug Risperdal. The drug Risperdal is associated with the development of female breasts, a medical condition called gynecomastia. Several juries have awarded substantial money damages to Risperdal victims. Some cases have already been settled. Your son may have a legal claim. Your initial private consultation is free.
Call Avram Blair & Associates now at 1-800-296-1285 to protect your child's rights.
Welcome back. We are scoreless at Qualcomm. Now, since the start of the 2013 season, Donnell Pumphrey is the only player in the nation with 4,000 rushing yards and 800 receiving yards. Now, he may only be 5'9", but San Diego State unveiled a Heisman campaign with a 52-foot banner that they hung on one of the dorms on campus. Cal head coach Sonny Dykes said Pumphrey is a great blend of speed and strength, and that all the good things good running backs do, he does them really well. Guys, this is the first Heisman campaign at SDSU since Marshall Falk.
Oh, and speaking